A big find at George Washington's Mount Vernon estate.
Dozens of century-old, impeccably preserved cherries and berries from the cellar of George Washington's Mount Vernon estate in Northern Virginia have been discovered during an archaeological dig. Whole cherries with pits were found in some of the bottles. Other bottles hold what appears to be gooseberries or currants. Officials say that the discovery of so much perfectly preserved food from more than 250 years ago is essentially unprecedented. Mount Vernon is partnering with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to conduct DNA testing on the fruit.
That is Lisa Dwyer reporting. NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft is once again sending science data. The propulsion lab says the spacecraft's 4 instruments are back in business after a computer problem in November. Launched back in 1977, Voyager 1 is the most distant spacecraft from Earth. More of these stories at townhall.com. Correspondent Seth Suttle reports the IRS wants to end another major tax loophole.
A proposed rule and guidance announced Monday includes plans to stop a practice called partnership basis shifting. That's a process by which a business or person can enter into a series of transactions that will result in no taxes being paid. White House officials say that after evaluating the practice, there are no economic grounds for these kinds of transactions. Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo described them as a shell game. Biden administration officials say the additional IRS funding through the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act had enabled increased oversight and greater awareness of the practice. Seth Sutell, New York.
Majorities of Americans favor forgiving all or some of an individual's medical debt, providing the person is facing hardships. That's according to the results of a new poll from the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. More from townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he, and it is me, Mike Winters. I'm back.
Yes.
Back coming to a little different than I left here.
I just thought we were going to talk about your vacation.
Yeah, it's gotten very crazy out there with the fires going on in Ruidoso that kicked off yesterday here. Obviously, that is top priority of the morning here with evacuations. For in case you haven't heard, Ruidoso has been ordered to evacuate.
Yep.
Most of all of it's coming this way. It's as it is. I don't think there's routes to the west are available.
Yeah,
I know that Alamogordo and some of those places west are offering, but I think they're having trouble getting
It's because
people
of
that way.
that's the affected areas right there on that road to get to the Alamogordo area.
The only way out is the highway to Roswell.
Folks who are already in that area or already on that side of it are basically there. I've talked to a few friends who were visiting a friend in Tularosa, and so they're basically sheltered up there. But Ruidoso is completely evacuated. It's the Mescalero fire. I think last I heard it was about 5,600 acres and 0% contained.
Yeah.
This is the first time the whole village has been evacuated.
Well, and throughout the course of the night here, they've set up places for folks to come here in Roswell. The The gymnasium on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, 52B University Boulevard, is a location where folks can go and shelter. Church on the Move at 901 West Brasher. I'm understanding they've also purchased some hotel rooms for displaced people
at the Leisure
to shelter in as well. On the campus of the New Mexico Military Institute at the Godfrey Center, 101 West College, is an evacuation location. So if there's people listening looking for a place to go, that is one place to go. The New Mexico Dream Center here on West 2nd, 2700 West 2nd Street. The Roswell Convention and Civic Center is also taking folks in there. And out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, of course, that's where they're sending folks with RVs and livestock, large animals and things like that. That's where they're sheltering those here in town. I know there's other reports, people privately opening up things and stuff like that.
Different shelters. The Eastern Mexico State Fairgrounds are open for RVs and for larger animals. So if you have livestock or horses,
yes,
they're opening up their stables out there. Driving in after I dropped the kids off, it was very surreal because it was quiet like it normally is as I'm driving in, first thing in the morning. And it didn't even hit me until I pulled into the Allsup's parking lot there at the corner of 2nd and Sycamore. It looked like a convention was going on. I mean, the parking lot was full.
Yeah, and like you said, people are a lot of people in town here. So if folks can help. One thing maybe something that's on the horizon here. So if there's some businesses or entities listening and you have these abilities, might be thinking about this and reach out to some of our city and county and emergency services if you can offer. But with the influx of people, there might be needs for food and things like that.
Yes.
So if there are maybe some of these businesses that love to cook and help out, and some of these, your services might be needed today.
Sure.
I haven't heard anything definitively yes or no, but I'm just me sitting here thinking, when you get a bunch of people here coming into town, they're going to need meals, they're going to need stuff like that. And so if there's folks that can cook large meals that might be able to offer those services,
that would be
reach out to our emergency response, our county, city, and various other entities that are coordinating to help folks as they come into town and things like that. If reach out, as I get some resources like that, I'll let folks know. I've sent a text out to the sheriff and a couple others saying, hey, if you need to get on, you need to share info, let us know what we can do to help on that. So as we get that kind of information, we will definitely share that along to folks out there. But yes, for folks coming into town, tuning in, there are places here. Hopefully you're getting that information, but if not, we'll keep sharing. But Convention Civic Center, the gym at the campus of ENMUR, Godfrey Center on the New Mexico Military Institute campus, Church on the Move on Brasher, the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Again, that's where they're sending for RVs, livestock animals. I'm hearing Eddy County's opening up their stuff. Lee County as well are offering places for folks if we need to go farther to get housing for some of these animals and folks like that. So reach out and just be safe out there.
Absolutely.
And obviously, people. Hopefully, people are connecting with loved ones and things that maybe are having issues with this with the fires here going on. I know people are trying to connect and reach out, and highways are pretty crazy going out of town and exercise. Obviously, if you have business that way, you probably don't need to worry about that.
You don't anymore today.
The business is getting everyone safely away from the fire. Anything else takes a back seat there.
Yeah.
So
and
just remember that.
Obviously, people's safety is the paramount. This is the priority. But there's just so many details that go into this. You think about the folks who are uninsured. You think about the folks who aren't covered. This is a total loss for a lot of folks. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, and yes, you're right. However, right now the priorities are getting the people and getting getting everyone as safe and saving as much as possible. The what happens, how it happened, what do we do next? We'll cross that bridge.
We'll address it later, but reach out to your people for sure.
I mean, I've already, like you were saying earlier, speculations on the fires and how it's starting, and the rumor mill is starting pretty good up there already.
And,
there is a time and a place, maybe not right now for some of that stuff. Let's worry about getting people safe, get people sheltered, people fed, people comfortable, and then we can worry about some of that stuff later here.
Social media also a great resource. A lot of folks are offering individual, restaurant owners, like you had mentioned, are opening up their restaurants to folks who need meals. I haven't gotten any specific names of restaurants here in town, but I've seen a couple of folks who have said, we're going to fire up the grill, we're going to have stuff going. So just keep checking social media. Usually the first 6 to 7 posts are exclusively Ruidoso Fire. Here's some resources.
Yeah, but as far as anything official, the Red Cross, City of Roswell, the state, everything else, they're setting up emergency shelters. All of that is going on here. But here in Roswell, the main places we want to send folks to get taken care of are the gymnasium at Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Church on the Move at 901 West Brasher, the Godfrey Center on the campus of New Mexico Military Institute, the New Mexico Dream Center at 2700 West 2nd, the Roswell Convention and Civic Center here on North Main, and out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds for RVs and large animals to shelter there. That's where they've got the hookups and the space to do that there. And as those things fill up, they will shift and move according. Like I said, I know I've seen reports online about Eddy County, Lee County, as far as offering places for livestock animals, things like that. I'm sure there's
Eddy County Fairgrounds has been opened up for additional livestock as well.
And I imagine they're at the fairground board and all that. They probably got some connections with some of their ranchers and stuff if they need overflow or need other accommodations. You know how our community works. If there's people that can have the resources and facilities, we always offer them up. That's what we do. But we'll get through this, and just praying. Obviously, you hear thoughts and prayers a lot in times like this, and I'm a believer in those. I know not everyone is, but let's all do what we can to do our part to help everyone get through this safe. The buildings, that stuff is replaceable. I know it's tough. I know, but the lives. That's what's important.
I did just see on Facebook a screenshot. Looks like of a webcam from the main downtown area.
Yeah, they did have a webcam,
and it looked like at least the fire hadn't reached that area yet.
Well, I mean,
it's coming. I know, but
I saw one this morning of the Albertsons there in Ruidoso.
That was that,
and you could see the blazes in the background there.
It was out of a disaster movie.
Yeah, it's and I saw one, and it looked like somebody's home, like someone's GoPro or dash ring cam type setup of their property, and they showed I don't know what it was, a 12-hour, 8-hour, 10-hour, 24-hour timeline, but you could see where and thank God in this particular one it wasn't hitting the house, but it's going right through, and it goes from clear to you see the smoke, the red glow, and everything else around it as the fire is moving into that area. And there's about a gazillion photos and videos of stuff just like that right now. So,
as I was mentioning earlier, everybody's taking pictures basically from the back as they're fleeing the scene. I mean, you're just seeing this from the rear view essentially.
But I understand that Roswell is in an air quality alert.
Yeah, we did get some air. I got some
air quality.
Some alerts on my phone late yesterday about air quality permits, obviously with the smoke and stuff. So people dealing with the asthma and those kind of respiratory issues.
Stay indoors.
Staying indoors, even here in Roswell's probably.
Yeah, get yourself a HEPA filter. Get something to filter out some of the particles, particulates in the air, because it's going to be rough for the next couple of days. Good news is we do have rain in the forecast, at least not today, but for the weekend. So hopefully that'll, some of that rain will tamp down at least a little bit of that.
This might be something that I don't know that he's sending here with the screen crawls and all that. Might be a Roy thing. I don't know what he's trying to tell me here. but Gene was sending something about for video there. I don't know what he's talking about there. That's above my knowledge.
I'll check on it,
We have our fact checker.
It's technical stuff that he's talking about for the video, and I'm like, I don't know this. You speak foreign language to me on this. I don't know what this means. But yeah, we're as we get updates, as we get these things, we will definitely share them. And
this just breaks my heart. Absolutely breaks my heart.
Oh yeah,
our beloved Ruidoso.
Well, yeah. This is all the fires and all the time I've been here. This is obviously seems to be one that's. I mean, we've had some close calls over the years and things.
Yeah,
and some bad fires, but this one seems to be.
I grew up there.
It's
my hometown. It breaks my heart.
But as we get more information, as we progress through the morning here, we'll share as we get. But as Sean was saying, the good news is, I hope this is good news, that rain. I was looking at weather forecasts, like we're supposedly getting some rain in the region for us, but I was looking at the Ruidoso weather forecast before the show here, and tomorrow they've got like a 40% chance at afternoon. See, that it's showers and thunderstorms. The thunder part is
tomorrow.
Not, yeah.
Yeah. The worry there is also the increased wind.
Yeah, there's 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night, 60% on Thursday, and a 70% Thursday night, 70 on Friday. So there's lots of opportunities, hopefully, to tamp down with that moisture. But like you said, with thunderstorms and winds and everything else, and who knows, like you hear reports that this was started by lightning, then and that's where now the conspiracy and people are starting. Well, it was a clear day, and then they're saying that reports of arson and everything else. There's a lot of that going on social media. There's a time and a place for that. I don't know if right now is that time or place.
So this was just posted 10 minutes ago. A friend of mine says the Roswell schools have 7 open sites and has declared all these sites are open this week, Monday through Friday, for breakfast and lunch for Ruidoso evacuees. Grab-and-go meals, 8 to 1. They're also willing to bring a truck to the fairgrounds or other large venue as needed. The director's Kim Meeks, and the cell phone number, I'm trying to find it's on this flyer here.
Yes, we've had her on the show a couple times.
But all of the locations for the free grab-and-go breakfast and lunches for the Roswell Independent School District, those are open sites for food as well, including the base, the Roswell Industrial Air Center, Carpenter Park, Spaceport Park, Pocorn Park, Roswell High, Goddard High, and Missouri Elementary. And I believe the Roswell and Goddard High are also doing actual like food, like burgers and stuff.
Okay, excellent. So they're opening those not only to our students, but anyone that needs a meal here this morning. So absolutely. And but yes, please reach out to some of these entities if you do have it, because I got a feeling there's going to be more of that needed as we get more and more displaced people coming into town, and more evacuees coming into seeking some comfort, some places to take care of their families, and so we can help out with that as much as possible, and wait the fires as they combat it, and hopefully knocking on some wood, some of the weather, and will turn in our favor and help them fight this fire quicker and sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
But as of right now, it's kind of the when you watch those movies like The Perfect Storm, and you just see like these cocktail little things that all comes together. I feel like feels like one of those. It
is. It's all of
fires in multiple directions.
We're in a super dry time. I mean, we're far from monsoon season, so everything in New Mexico is super dry, super brittle, and then add in that the winds, the heat that we've been dealing with. I mean, it's a devastating stew, so to speak.
And it was weird. Kim and I were noticing that, because y'all got some rain while we're gone.
A little bit, yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but Roswell looked a little greener to me when we were coming into town, and the trees. And I was like, man, it looks a little green compared to the way we left.
Now, I was going to say, is that because you guys are coming from sea where it was just a bunch of blue? But then again, you guys were also in West Texas, and that's got to be plenty green.
Yeah, we came to the desert. We didn't.
And in our excursions, it was rainforest type, so it was green.
They were, we were in jungle or whatever you call that, woods.
Yeah, I literally thought today, I was like, well, at least we could talk about how Mike and Kim were hugging on sloths, and then this all happened. So
we still hope for that.
Oh, we
got 3 hours of show, so and I don't think I have any guests today. So
I bet we can squeeze it in there.
By the way, also, and we mentioned this already, but across all of our social media pages, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, as well as 92.9 The Brand and our other stations, we've shared those resources that are available with phone numbers. So if you need that info, it's there waiting for you.
Yeah, in black and white. So if you need numbers and things like that, we've got a lot of that shared on all of our social medias and our family of stations and all that good stuff. So absolutely. But as we get more information, that's what we're dealing with right now, and just be mindful of just even downtown here is going to be busy and a lot of things going on, lines, and like I think you were saying, there was a line right around the Dunkin' and all those places
Donuts.
this morning.
There was even a car that was blocking the south lane to trying to get in. Yeah, he just decided he would just stay there and block the lane.
But so it's a little busy at all.
A little busy.
It's going to be a little bit like that. It's going to feel like Hike and Spike It weekend for a few days here.
Yeah.
A lot of
especially all these folks that haven't had their coffee yet, and they're going to get their coffee. So be a little patient, even despite the fact that you're waiting on your Joe to make you happy.
Right.
This is a time we all exercise patience and be helpful and just step up as a community.
That is the one, and I don't want to say good thing to come out of it, but that is the one semi benefit is you really feel the community come together when stuff like this happens.
One of those moments. Here.
Yeah,
where we collectively stop fighting with each other and we show each other pictures on our phones.
I have faith, Roswell. We're going to step up and do the best we can to support.
Yeah.
Pray for the rain. Keep the rain to help tamp down this stuff and keep the other things that come with it out. We don't need the wind and the lightning and all that, but just the moisture.
One of the funny things, one of the things that people know Roswell for is we have a lot of churches. So at least we have a lot of places where folks can, find shelter, and I'm sure those churches and those iglesias will open up their doors for folks who are in need too.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, Church on the Move, we were talking about, they've got some room set up, and I'm sure some of the other churches are doing things similar for folks as needed around town.
They opened up 34 rooms.
Yeah.
That's what they paid for.
Yeah, and that information's, I think I started seeing it last night, so it's probably altered a little bit since then. So as we're getting updates this morning here on some of this stuff.
Some of these places are probably full up, but again, if you call the number, they can let you know if they have room, and if not, they can direct you to somebody who could.
Yes.
Good deal. So, but yeah, as we see it, it's kind of just saying emergency service. Now, some of the stuff I know we shared online earlier. If you have any questions about accommodations at the fairgrounds, you can contact the Fair Board at 575-623-9411, extension 3, or Mark Steen at 575-420-3838. Roswell hospitals are trying to accommodate as patients are being, they're, I think accepting evacuations and things from patients from Ruidoso as well. So please be mindful. Hospitals are also going to be busy this morning here, so help is going to be needed there. Horse shelter. There's a phone number here, 575-802-5271. They've got a place on the west side of Roswell, just north of Highway 70. Eddy County Emergency Shelters are offering up spaces there. If you have horse cattle needs there, you can call 575-308-2367. Small animals too, 575-513-0479. RVs, 575-513-9139. That's for some resources for Eddy County as well too. Reaching out. Several places that we've shared with phone numbers that are handling horse and cattle and small animals as well too. People that are offering up places in and around Artesia and Roswell and surrounding areas here too. So it's kind of people are offering up where they can. We've got some of those sharing as well. The Encanto Event Center on 1010 South Main, they're going to be opening their doors. And I think at this point, based on what I'm seeing, they're probably open now to assist shelter with families that have been affected. They'll be starting this morning. They're going to have food trucks out there for folks to get food as well too. They're talking about other places. So really, go onto our Facebook. We shared a lot of some of the Christchurch. They're offering up their stuff. I'm seeing several of them on here. Lots of animal places, accepting homes to shelter animals and things for now too. So even the Artesia Recreation Center is opening stuff up. Lee County Fairgrounds. So it's spreading. Curry County Fairgrounds, they're opening there. So counties all throughout southeast New Mexico are offering their services. So when ours get taxed here, I'm sure we're going to be shifting some of that to some of these other facilities and things too. So that's the latest that I've got right now. As we get more on that, we will let folks know here. But my best bet to get the latest, greatest are Roswell's Talk FM Facebook or our country sister station 92.9 The Brand, Faro 106.1 KSVP. All of our Facebook and other social medias there. You can stay abreast on updates and all that as they come in too. And of course, as we get them here on the show, we will be sharing them.
Or a thigh or a wing. Doesn't have to just be a breast. We keep you informed with the whole chicken.
That's right. Even the gizzards.
Love me some gizzards. See, that's the hard part about doing what we do for a living is, our whole job, our whole goal in the morning is to make your morning routine a little more palatable. And now all we're doing is just hammering you over the head with, information. It's a tough tightrope you got to walk,
Yeah, but as we get it, we will let folks know here. Let's go ahead and it's 7:29. Let's take a look at your weather. We do have rain.
Yes.
Allegedly in the forecast.
And I was making the joke basically the whole time you guys were gone that the first day of our first official day of summer, it's going to feel like a spring day. It's 80s for the high on our first official day of summer.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is almost 7:30. Let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today, right around 105 for the afternoon high. It will be a little bit breezy, and we get lots of sunshine. Clear for the overnight hours, upper 60s and low 70s, and then sunny and mid-90s for the afternoon high on Wednesday. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower, and then a lot cooler on Thursday. Cold front moving through, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 74 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62%. Winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour. The humidity's a little high. We do have a heat advisory for today. It's going to be hot. That's going to kick in at noon, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. today. As far as what to expect, sunny and hot. 105 are expected high today here in Roswell. Winds will be out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour, shifting to the south, 10 to 15 this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 72 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at around 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we are looking at a 20% chance at afternoon showers, mostly sunny, a little cooler, 96 for a high tomorrow. So that's about 10 degrees cooler. I'll take that. Winds will be out of the south, 15 to 20. That's not so good. We are looking at a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 68 degrees. Southeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at a 60% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy, 76 for a high. That'll be nice. That is Thursday. Winds will be out of the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 70% chance at some rain showers Thursday night. They're talking pretty much the evening hours, even after midnight. Cloudy with an overnight low of 67 degrees for your Friday. We're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with highs near 80. 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms Friday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 68 degrees. 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, mostly sunny at 92. And then a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms Sunday, 96 for a high on Sunday there. Then back up to sunny skies and hot with highs right around 100. Looking at the Ruidoso weather, let me refresh that here real quick. Currently 68 degrees. They're talking areas of smoke, obviously, today. Sunny and 87. No talk of moisture today. Tonight, not talking more areas of smoke. Mostly clear, 58. 5 to 15 mile an hour winds during the day today. 5 to 15 mile an hour winds tonight. So that's not horrible, but it's not great either. Tomorrow, they are looking at a 40% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms in Ruidoso. They're saying that it looks like 86 southeast winds, 5 to 15. It's a little breezy too. Not bad, but not great either. And then tomorrow night, their chance of rain bumps up to 50%. Mostly cloudy, 56 for an overnight low. They are looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms on Thursday for the afternoon, a 70% chance at showers and thunderstorms Thursday night, a 70% for showers and thunderstorms Friday during the day and for the afternoon. So hopefully they get moisture and rain and not so much wind and lightning and that type of thing. And then their rain chances continue through the weekend. 50%, 40% on Friday night, 50% on Saturday, 40% on Sunday. So cross your fingers, rain dance, pray. Hopefully some of that will help turn this fire's fighting this to getting it, get it. Those 0% containments, maybe they can start containing and corralling and getting this thing taken care of. It is 7:33. Let's do this. Let's pause for about a 4-minute break. We'll also take a local news update and Kim Commando update as well. Then we'll come back on the other side and give updates and chit-chat some more. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support? Clear. With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $1,515 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
At New Mexico Gas Company, our priority is your safety. That's why we add a Rodden X smell to natural gas to help alert you of the presence of natural gas. So if you ever notice a rotten egg smell, it might be a natural gas leak. We recommend that you leave the area immediately and from a safe distance, call New Mexico Gas Company at 1-888-NM-GAS-CO or 911. We're New Mexico Gas Company and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Cash for Junkers is back at Roswell Honda, and that means if you can push it, pull it, or drag it to Roswell Honda, it's worth up to $3,000 towards your next vehicle. And with a lot chock full of beautiful new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, your old busted could be the key to your new hotness. And push, pull, and drag your family to Roswell Honda Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 1 for free hot dogs and drinks, stuff for the kids, and your chance to win a $400 Visa gift card. Cash for Junkers on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,004 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer tenants. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold 6 to 8 higher, feeder cattle steady. Packer cows steady to 3 lower, Packer bulls steady to 3 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers 380, 417, 3 to 400 pound heifers 317, 337, 4 to 500 pound steers 344, 380, 4 to 500 pound heifers 275, 317, 5 to 600 pound steers 271, 344, 5 to 600 pound heifers 247, 275, 6 700 pound steers 252, 271, 6 700 pound heifers 238, 50, 247, 7 800 pound steers 243, 252, 7 800 pound heifers 210, 238, 50. Packer cows 128, 138, canner and cutter cows 120, 125, Packer bulls 160, 173, feeder bulls 140, 150. Top half the cow calf pairs $2,000 to $2,300 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,600 to $1,975 per head. We will sell next Monday, June the 24th. Miss the sale of Monday, July the 1st. Be back selling Monday, July the 8th in observance of Independence Day. We appreciate the business. Talk to you next week. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's something you might not know about your smart speakers. They're not just waiting for you to say the wake word. They can also listen in for smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. I'm Kim Commando for Total Ad Block, the easy, safe way to stop seeing ads on the web. For just $19, go to blockwithkim.com. Imagine you're out when suddenly a fire starts at home. Your smoke alarm goes off and your smart speaker hears it instantly. You get an alert on your phone. Here's how to set it up. And spoiler, there is a monthly charge. On your Echo speaker, subscribe to Alexa Emergency Assist for about $5 a month. In your Alexa app, toggle on smoke and CO alarm sounds. Done. Your Echo will notify your phone if it detects an alarm. For Google Home, open the app, tap Settings, and turn on sound detection. You will need a Nest Aware subscription, starting at $8 a month. These smart speaker settings can make all the difference in an emergency, so be sure to check it out. Today's sponsor will get rid of all the annoying ads that you see on the web. Go to blockwithkim.com. That's blockwithkim.com. Are you tired of being bombarded with ads every single place you go online? It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. Companies are spending more on ads every single year, so you're bound to see even more ads. Not only that, the advertisements follow you from site to site. This means more ads in more places and not what you want to see. Now do this. Take control back with Total Ad Block. Say goodbye to intrusive ads and say hello to a cleaner, safer, and faster browsing experience. With Total Ad Block, you can block every ad or allow only the ads you want to see. You'll also have built-in protection from those accidental clicks that lead you to those sketchy shopping sites. Even better, Total Ad Block stops advertising trackers from following your every move. Yes, you get your privacy back. So what are you waiting for? Total Ad Block is on sale right now just for my listeners. Visit blockwithkim.com and get Total Ad Block for just $19 for the first year. That's blockwithkim.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:40. Yes, as if you're on our video streams this morning for the morning show here, Roy has got a scrolling of some of the information, emergency information there.
Can you make that top layer?
Yeah, go ahead and just. They don't need to look. Yeah, don't need to look at us. Let them look at that scrolling thing right now. I think that's a little more important than our shiny mugs. But but there's a list of phone numbers for resources from everything to from to animals to shelter places. The official ones and some of the ones that people are offering up on social media as well too. There, I know Greg Birch, one of our faithful.
Yeah, I'm pulling the post up right now.
He was putting some information that he was seeing about fire updates, about some of the containments and some of the...
He posted this 7 minutes ago. It says, attention, all those with trucks and trailers offering to help evacuate horses from the Ruidoso Downs area. The horsemen are needing your help now. They're letting people move horses off the backside now, so please head that way. Be sure to get a full tank of gas before heading that way, as there's little to no fuel in Ruidoso. Trainer said they'll be happy to pay people for the help. And that's from Brad Bolin.
Yeah, so there's lots of resources getting out there. We're sharing as we get and what we see and what we can what we're offering up there. So getting out as quick as we get it.
The South Fork fire and the Salt fire, and Greg just put up basically a
update
picture of the coverage of the fires, and it's a huge area, a huge swath for both of those fires.
And I heard Village of Ruidoso will be doing a briefing at 9:00.
Okay.
All right. Well, hopefully they'll have some kind of good news in there. Doesn't feel like it right now, but maybe they'll have a few good updates there.
South Fork, 13,921 acres and no containment on that one.
Man, it's crazy. It's.
I was looking at I think specifically South Fork. That's right at the where the inn is and that whole area. So here's hoping those folks got evacuated, because man, that's devastating.
Yeah, absolutely. It's at this point, that's about all we can say and do. And as these things come in, we get that information out to people and all that good stuff. So that's the latest and greatest on the fires and everything else. Yeah, we did have a vacation we just came off.
So how are you feeling? Rested, rejuvenated, relaxed?
Yeah, I think we'll talk more about it next
that's what
hour
I'm
here.
thinking.
We'll get deeper into it. But
I have cruise ship questions specifically, like the excursions and stuff. And I'm curious about some of the amenities offered to you.
Okay.
And how that experience wanes as the week goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do all that. We will talk all about. We had a great trip. I mean, as far as overall good trip, couple of mishaps, as you know, you have on a vacation, but overall a great trip. But we're both exhausted. We're both still kind of recouping from the traveling and everything else and everything. But
I think I got my land legs back.
I think today I have not noticed it.
Yesterday we were just rocking.
And Sunday.
You have to. I guess you have to kind of get used to everywhere you go, constantly be doing this, right?
Yes.
And when you step off ship, you still feel that.
See, and that's what blows my mind about people who do like tightrope stuff or like the daredevil acts on the cruise ship. How do you factor in the wave factor?
And that's just it. You don't really notice it so much when you're on the ship,
right?
Like from our cabin. Now we were higher up. We were on deck 14.
Okay.
So when you're higher up, you will notice it more than when you're lower in the ship.
That makes sense.
We were relatively central boat. We were slightly forward as far as where our cabin was.
Okay.
And that does come into play. If you're more forward or more aft on the ship, you will feel it more.
All right, deck boy, aft.
Well, my whole week's been.
I know.
My whole week has been forward, aft.
Yeah, port,
stern,
starboard.
Yeah,
port, starboard.
Yeah,
the port side.
I prefer a Chianti over a port personally.
And cruise ships, especially when you're in the room areas where the rooms and where people are staying, it and every cruise ship is like this. It can get casino-like, where you open up and you're like, which way do I go again?
Right.
Which way's the front of the boat? Which way's the back of the boat? It all looks the same, and you get to, even day 5 and 6 on this thing, you're like, wait a minute, which way do I got to go again? It's certain ships have tricks I've noticed, like when we did, I think it was a Disney cruise.
Disney, it was.
In a Disney cruise on that particular boat we were in. There was markers in the carpet. Like if you looked in the hallway, there was arrows, and if the arrows are pointing, that's towards the front. So you're like, okay, that's going towards the front. This particular ship we were on this time didn't have that per se. They had, like, when you got out of elevators, when you got out of areas, there were maps telling you forward, aft, this way, that way, this side, this port side, starboard side. But if you just come out your room, you got to do a second.
You're in the middle of a hallway. You have to okay, so the ice machine's over there, so I got to. That would be tough.
And there's multiple places to eat and things to do stuff.
Sure.
So you're kind of like, okay, we're going here to eat now. We need to go back. We need to go this way. Obviously, certain times of the day, there's elevators on the ship, and there's a lot. There's quite a few elevators and things. However, when you have, I'm going to guess 4,000 or 5,000 people on the ship. I don't know the exact number, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. And then you tell everybody dinner time's at 5 o'clock, and about half of you are going to be eating dinner at this time. The elevators tend to get a little
loaded down,
little bit tricky.
There was about 5,000 on our ship.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's and for us. We're old, so steps weren't always fun. So we're not.
Well, and there's ship steps too. So they got that weird. I'm guessing they got that weird like grating that like grabs your shoes.
Well, no, they're more like normal steps.
Were they? Okay.
But if we're on deck 14, we got to go down to deck 4. That's a lot of steps.
We're doing the elevator,
man. It's
but
down.
Then what comes down must go up. What goes down must, what comes up must go down.
Yeah, take the elevator up, but take the stairs down. It minimizes the amount of elevator use.
Well, yes and no.
Although I'd imagine that doing those stairs with the rock of a ship also probably presents its own challenge.
Not to mention you've been walking around all day, and old and cranky and tired, and the last thing you want to do is navigate 14 flights a day.
Because it's roughly like 2 football fields long, is what they said, right? These boats.
Yeah, probably. It's huge.
The world's 4th largest ship.
It's ginormous. It's like and the Harmony of the Sea boat, which is Royal Caribbean, which we went on,
right?
Is at the moment like the 4th largest cruise ship in the world.
Okay.
Its predecessors are 3 other of the sea ships owned by Royal Caribbean, like the Utopia of the Seas. That's the one I just saw a commercial for on TV
the
yesterday.
new one, right?
That's the big bad new one.
Yeah.
That's basically the one we were on is like that one, but slightly smaller. And to be honest, I don't know if you noticed the difference on it, but
that
I'm
one
sure,
has an addition of like 2 pickleball courts.
yeah, I don't know. What I'm sure it's like they made the bridge just 1 inch longer just to say it's longer or something. I don't know what they do, but it's a big ship and there's a lot going on and a lot of places to navigate.
I thought it was funny, and I brought it up scarcely on the radio because I was really trying not to jinx anything till you guys got back. It's like my algorithm knew you guys were on vacation and I was getting served nothing but cruises gone wrong.
Oh no.
That's all I was seeing was like the boats, like whatever, something at the bottom was wrong, or they oversold it, and so there were more people on it than they planned to wait for it, so it started to list in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, we had none of those.
Then the Costa Concordia, and God forbid how many videos I saw about the poop cruise.
Oh yeah.
You know what? We had actually booked that cruise.
Really?
The poop cruise?
Yeah, from 20.
Well, not that particular cruise, but that ship.
They kept it operational.
Well,
it was out of commission.
Ours got
for a
canceled
while.
because the boat wasn't quite ready yet.
Oh, okay.
Like the boat once after the incident, it was in dock getting repaired and upgraded or whatever for
and it was
about
supposed to
6-8
be ready
months.
for us.
And so we were one of the first cruises.
1 week later, so we had to cancel.
So we missed
I'm
it.
sorry.
Our ship.
I don't care how sanitized that boat is. I would never walk barefoot on it after some of the stuff I saw.
Well, no, I'll do it next time.
But I'm really glad that everything went, smooth and according to plan.
Yeah, everything went. We had a good time. Had a great time. And
How many ports of call did you guys have?
3.
3.
We our first, and technically so how this works. So if you, I don't know if you can picture, if you will, a map of the Gulf of Mexico, Florida, Cuba, the Caribbean, Mexico. Okay. If you can kind of in your head picture. So you have the Gulf of Mexico, the big round. So we leave right out of Galveston. We cut right through the Gulf. And when you hit at the end of the Gulf, there's Cuba.
Okay.
And then there's Mexico. And that's where the Yucatan, that peninsula, that's where it juts out there. And then there's Cuba.
Okay.
Well, right about where Cuba and that little part of Mexico that juts out there, there's a section of water that's, I mean, if you look at a map, it's not very big. I mean,
right.
It's, I don't know, 100 miles.
But it's passable.
Yeah. So what we do is, our cruise ship goes through the Gulf, and then right about where the peninsula of Mexico, that's right around where Cozumel is.
Okay.
Right in that area. And
we
then
went past that.
Yeah. And then past that, you go through and that's when you went down into Honduras.
Okay.
So
that was our first port. We were two days at sea, and then we stopped at Roatan, Honduras.
Yeah, and this is where we're on our way out. We had an unexpected. Because once you get to the Gulf there, and then the day before we were supposed to be in port, Kim and I, we missed an announcement. I don't know what we were doing.
We were doing stuff, and then we go up on the deck.
And we see land.
And
we're like, hey, we're not supposed to be in land. And I'm like, no way, we're in Honduras already. And then I went and got on when you go in your room, they have the TV map with like 6 channels. But there's one that talks about like where you're at, and it's giving you the speed and all the, kind of tell you. And I'm like, wait a minute, we're in Cozumel. Like, why are we in Cozumel? And then talking, and apparently we had a medical. I guess someone needed to get
someone had to deboard.
Yeah,
and we were close enough to Cozumel
issue, so they stopped in Cozumel real quick, and then but we booked it because I guess that put us behind schedule.
Oh, sure.
So our trip from Cozumel into Rotan, they were hauling butt. And that night, I noticed waves and noticed, ooh.
You could tell there's a little choppiness.
The boat was rocking a little bit.
There's one guy on the back with an onboard motor just going. Six or a bud sitting right here.
And then after, we had our excursion at Roatan.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that next hour. I don't want to get too deep in all that. I'm just kind of giving.
I'm trying to save a little meat for next hour.
Yeah.
So we ended up. So we actually got an extra stop. We went into Cozumel first, just to drop it. We didn't get off the boat. We just kind of looked and people waved and saw Margaritaville and saw, and then back on the boat and heading towards Rotan. Yeah. But that night, and then of course the next morning we wake up and welcome to Rotan and Honduras, and that's when we had our first day of stuff. Spent the day in Honduras, and then we head back north up towards Mexico, and that's where we go to Playa. I can't remember the name.
Puerto Costa Maya.
There it is. In Mexico, and we have
fancy.
And then we're a day there, and then from there we go back to Cozumel for our day in Cozumel.
Okay,
and then
so you got like a little preview. I imagine nobody else was allowed to get off the boat when they.
No, we saw from the deck.
So you were just like, okay, I'm going to go there. Carl's Jr. right over there. I'm going to hit up.
and then from there we spent a day at sea, and then got back in Sunday morning.
Okay.
And so we'll talk more about the hijinks and all the things that happened there. But that was kind of the
map
travel of what we did. So we actually go down through the Gulf, down into Central America there. And Rotan, Honduras is an island. It's not part of the main Honduran land. It's an island. The island of Rotan is there. And it's, I think, I can't remember that the lady on our thing told me there's maybe a couple thousand people that live on the island, maybe 1,000. I don't remember what she said.
Small little.
And,
I'd imagine the entire gross national product is the tourism that comes in.
Mostly, yeah. There's stuff it's mostly tourism in that island. There was I think they said there was 2% that lived there were American, 2% were French. Majority are Honduran, but
there's one North Korean guy that lives on the
he lives on the corner beach here, but we'll get into that. More. 7:55. I do have to do a quick break before we get to more breaks. So let's pause for Wall Street Business Update. Quick commercial break before we get the top out the hour here. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Later today, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun will tell a U.S. Senate committee the plane maker understands concerns about its safety culture. Calhoun says the culture is far from perfect, but Boeing is taking action and making progress. The U.S. Treasury and Internal Revenue Service said on Monday they will close a tax loophole exploited by large, complex partnerships, an action that they estimated could raise $50 billion in new revenue over 10 years. The Treasury said the Internal Revenue Service would no longer allow partnerships to shift tax liabilities to related parties or different legal entities in order to maximize tax deductions and minimize liability. U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is scheduled to give testimony on monetary policy on July 9th at the Senate Banking Committee. If scheduling proceeds as it has historically, Powell would deliver the same testimony at the House Financial Services Committee. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online, affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, clinical military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional, as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Do you love your car?
Yes.
Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles with special financing available regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3 years of free oil changes. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:58. We're got about a minute here before we get to top of the hour news and all of that. I just found this piece of information on Facebook. This is from City Councilor Juliana Halverson. She just posted just a few minutes ago. We're incredibly grateful for the overwhelming support you have shown for the fire victims. Your generosity truly makes a difference. At this time, we kindly ask that you do not, I repeat, do not bring donated items to any of the evacuation centers. The City of Roswell is collaborating with other organizations to determine the most urgent needs and will be posting updates accordingly. We are currently working on coordinating a centralized location for collecting donations. Once finalized, we will share the needed items and the drop-off location. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. So, yes, I know we're all rallying and want to do this, and things are happening, but it looks like they're still organizing to try to get a centralized location to coordinate this. So at this time, hold on to those donations just for a few as we get a coordinated effort on where you can bring those stuff. And as soon as I get that information, I will definitely share that with you. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Correspondent Jennifer King reports a majority, but not every, responded to a new poll said forgiving medical debt should be a government priority.
Janelle Williams of Fairbanks, Alaska, said he doesn't think anyone should have to go into financial ruin to live. He was hospitalized for a blood infection for 3 months while in between jobs more than 10 years ago, and the bill was more than $300,000. But Ed Kane, a Republican from Massachusetts, says medical debt forgiveness should not be an option. We're starting to become a nation that gives away everything, and he's tired of it, he says. He credits his employer's health insurance for providing good coverage that kept him out of debt.
That is Jennifer King reporting. A majority of those responding to a new poll from the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy and the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research said they do favor forgiving all or some of an individual's medical debt if the person is facing hardships. A recent incident between China and the Philippines in the South China Sea is drawing attention from the United States. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller.
PRC vessels' dangerous and deliberate use of water cannons, ramming, blocking maneuvers, and towing damaged Philippine vessels endanger the lives of Philippine service members. It's reckless, and it threatens regional peace and stability.
Lisa Dwyer reports President Biden plans to announce deportation protections.
President Joe Biden is expected to announce a sweeping new policy that would lift the threat of deportation for tens of thousands of people married to U.S. citizens. It's an aggressive election year action on immigration that has been sought by many Democrats. The policy will allow roughly 490,000 spouses of U.S. citizens an opportunity to apply for a parole-in-place program.
And that is correspondent Lisa Dwyer reporting. You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does. But it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, insulin, using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free. And we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A dangerous heat wave building over parts of the Midwest had people resorting to a cooling pool in Chicago. Tour's Dan Levin said his background as a football coach prepared him to plan their visit.
I'm very familiar with signs of heat stroke and heat illness and heat exhaustion, stuff like that. So
NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft is once again sending data back to planet Earth.
The Jet Propulsion Laboratory says the spacecraft's 4 instruments are back in business after a computer problem in November. The team first received meaningful information from Voyager 1 in April and recently commanded it to start sending science data again. Launched in 1977, Voyager 1 is the most distant spacecraft from Earth. Its twin, Voyager 2, is working just fine. Jason Walker reporting.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Correspondent Norman Hall reports on racketeering charges brought against the New Jersey power broker.
New Jersey Democratic power broker George E. Norcross III has been charged with operating a racketeering enterprise, threatening people whose properties he sought to take over, and orchestrating tax incentive legislation to benefit organizations he controlled. New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin.
Through their alleged acts, the Norcross enterprise was able to obtain the rights to build multiple buildings and obtain hundreds of millions of dollars in government-issued tax credits.
But Norcross denounced the charges, called Attorney General Platkin a coward, and demanded a speedy trial. I'm Norman Hall.
A federal judge says an historic ocean liner that still holds a transatlantic speed record must leave its berth in Philadelphia. The decision issued last week culminated a years-old rent dispute between the conservancy that oversees the 1,000-foot SS United States and its landlord. More from townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. It is obviously a bit of a different kind of Tuesday here with the fires going on in Verdoso. We've got a bunch of stuff on our social media, places where folks can evacuate here in town. Of course, the places that are officially posting that we've got that they're accepting right now, you can go to the gymnasium on the campus of Eastern Mexico University Roswell at 52B University Boulevard, Church on the Move at 901 West Brasher, and as well as their Dream Center on 2700 West 2nd Street. They're accepting or hosting folks there. The Godfrey Center on the New Mexico Military Institute campus, they're at 101 West College. They're accepting folks, the Convention and Civic Center here downtown, as well as the East New Mexico State Fairgrounds, and that particularly for RV and large animals, livestock, things like that.
They have plenty of room for livestock out there.
They're taking stuff, they're taking animals there, and then of course we've got a scrolling list going on our video stream this morning and our social media. We've got posts there. A couple others I just shared right before the bottom of the last hour. City Councilor Juliana Halverson not too long ago shared on her Facebook page that at this time they're asking folks not to take donated items to the evacuation centers. They're coordinating a centralized location. They are coordinating with other entities to get resources there. That being said, I also saw on Facebook, now this is from yesterday, about 11 hours ago, but Church on the Move on their Facebook said that they are in need of 200 plus blankets and pillows, as well as volunteers to help distribute emergency relief items. They're now taking air mattresses, towels, toiletries, non-perishable food items. Please drop those donations off at the church. The Dream Center is full for the night. This was a few hours ago. We're still accepting people in the church building as well as the college. All RVs can go to DeBrenham Stadium. They're saying that there's some stuff there too. For people who want to donate remotely, please click they have a link there for Church on the Move if you want to donate financially or any other way there to do that. So that's the one I know that are accepting as of right now is Church on the Move. But they're kind of still coordinating and putting together a centralized location for folks and individuals that want to donate and help out. As we get that information, we will pass it along.
And that makes a lot of sense too, because you want to make sure that none of the resources that we gather go to waste. So if they're being dropped at 17 different locations, nobody's coordinating, stuff gets lost in this. And
I know a lot of people are doing private. I'm sure people have friends and family in Ruidoso and are making coordinated efforts to help make sure they're taken care of, whether it's putting them up their own homes or whatever and stuff like that too. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going on top of the public stuff too. Yep. So, but for folks that have the abilities and would like to keep it on the ready, you will be needed. I'm almost certain of it.
Absolutely.
In some way, shape, or form. So be patient as our authorities and stuff get those things laid out and organized and everything like that. But,
and as mentioned earlier, if you have a trailer, a horse trailer, they are asking folks with trailers to fill up with gas first of all because there's no fuel in the area. But head to the Ruidoso Downs area. As the winds have shifted, they're going to evacuate horses out of the Ruidoso Downs area.
Okay.
So they're asking if you have a horse trailer, as counterintuitive as it is, head towards the blaze. Just stop at Ruidoso Downs because we're loading up horses to bring.
And
them
I'm
down
sure there will be law enforcement and various other emergency relief along the way telling you what to do and where to go and not to go.
Trying to stop you, and you say, I'm going for a purpose.
I imagine they see you with a big old empty horse trailer. They can probably put two and two together on what you're doing there. One would think.
You're giving people a lot of confidence.
And to be honest, especially after my last week of in the public. Yes.
Okay, because here's the thing. Now I understand that they're not. It's not a cheap vacation. It's not a cheap excursion. But the average cruise goer, in most people's head, looks like the cat, or looks like the people in the movie WALL-E. Like you're only ever filmed from the neck down for news footage. You know what I'm saying?
You have all forms of society on a cruise ship.
Yes.
Now, in fairness, you guys were also on a Royal Caribbean. If you go on like a Carnival cruise, I imagine that's more like walking into a Walmart versus like heading into a Target. It's a little more upper echelon.
People are people, man. I'll just say that.
Put it this way: when I was in my
the clientele's still the same.
In my barrage of cruise videos, I heard somebody say that Carnival Cruise Lines is the Spirit Airlines of the cruise world.
Now, my own personal experience, I can see some points there.
Yeah.
But people are people.
Why should it be?
The same types of people that I saw on this ship are the same types of people I've seen on other ships.
Right.
So they exist.
They're out there, man.
It is the people that are socially aware, those that aren't, Those that I'm pretty sure, I'm like, have you been in public before? Do you not know how to deal with public at all? And no.
Now, I know as you said, there was close to 5,000 people on the boat. But if you think about it, that's kind of like just living in a town of 5,000 people. Everybody gets to know everybody at some point, I would imagine.
Yeah, but you're also in a much more confined space than what a town of 5,000 people has.
Sure.
You're crowded.
But I'm saying is you're getting to know people. You're maybe finding personality traits about them. You're not necessarily building friendships, but building a list of quirks of certain people.
And some you do, because, like, for instance,
We met some friends.
yeah, we had some nice
Our dinner friends.
Yeah.
So, like, we go to have your main dining each night, which you can choose to go to or not go to. It's entirely up to you. And so
that was my next question.
Ours was at 5:00.
Okay.
And so that's where you go, and you sit at the same table. You're served by the same staff and everything at that time. And so, because Kim and I, we're not a group of 8. We're not, and some of these tables are big round ones.
Because they're barely a group of 1.
That's right. Right? Or 1.5. But,
I'm a half a person.
No. You're both 0.75.
Yeah.
It works out.
Yeah, we're or I'd go maybe like 80 but you know what I get. You get what I mean. But anyway, so we sat in a little two-topper, and then on either side of us, approximately 2 feet away, there was 2 more people on this side. And 2 more. Like there was I think they're all sisters. There was 2 sisters here, and then 2 other sisters on our other side.
Really nice people.
Yeah, very nice people. The 2 on my right, her left, were from Ohio.
Okay.
And Carolina, respectively, but Ohio is where their main
Ohio rebel country.
And then the people to my left, her right, were from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, okay.
So
I imagine it's easier to justify taking a cruise if you live in Dallas, Fort Worth, because it's not that
there
much
is
of a drive.
plethora of Texans, and they were on that boat.
Yes.
Anytime anything Texas related, there was a series of yeehaws and woo-haws.
So with your particular meal plan, did you have access across the board to all the different cuisines that were offered, or were you guys given like 2 restaurants that you could go to and then like the other ones you had to pay for?
No, well, there are some restaurants you have to pay for,
Okay.
and some that are included as part of the deal.
Right.
Your main dining is one of the ones that are included. You don't pay extra unless you want some of the premium things.
So you
night.
basically go to the same dining area or mess hall, so to speak, every night.
If you choose to.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Or you could go up to the deck and have a buffet at the
there's
wind.
the Windjammer.
The Windjammer
was
had the
on
buffet
Deck 16,
going.
it's buffet, and
Okay.
you can eat a lot of stuff there.
Is that one a pay thing?
No, that's part of your deal.
Gotcha.
There's a pizza joint.
I can't imagine
pizza.
If I had free buffet, I can't imagine I wouldn't be there every day.
We kind of made a meal almost every day.
That's
there.
the thing.
You eat when you want to, basically.
I ate like I had dinner, and then I think we had dinner too at like 8:00. You know, because our dinner time was at 5, and by then I'm like, 8:30. I'm like, before this place closes at 9, I think I want to hit her again. And so because you're on vacation,
of course,
you eat a lot.
And I did some dancing during dinner time.
Nice.
Our waiter was John. I think he's from Africa.
Okay.
And the girls from Fort Worth, when they were leaving, they're like, "Bye, y'all." So after they left, John goes, "Bye, y'all," with a real Texas accent. He was having fun.
It was quite entertaining to watch a man from Africa do a Texas accent.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
And the last night, they started playing "Deep in the Heart of Texas."
Yep.
And so we got up and we were doing that, and John, our waiter, was with us. And then I said, "John, yeehaw!" And John did that back to me. And then I danced with John. We did the arm in arm, swinging a partner
Basically
around.
square
And so
dancing.
I taught him that.
Cool.
The night or 2 nights before that, the Macarena came on. So,
Macarena?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
The
so,
Michelada. I was making a joke. Drink. Never mind.
And then, so I got up and did that with one of the sisters. So we did some dancing. And,
Nice.
Yeah. It
But
was fun.
back to the restaurant thing, how it works. So you have the main dining. Then, like I said, you can go to the Windjammer, which was a buffet thing. They had the pizza place, like Kim was mentioning. There's also a couple cafes that you can go, like.
Okay.
And the way the ship was set up, it's like different areas. And so in the middle of the ship, like on the Royal Caribbean ship, there's like you see the sides with the rooms, and then there's a middle section that's like atrium and open, and so that area they call on this particular ship is called Central Park, and it's set up like New York City.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so there's some actual restaurant, like Jamie Oliver's restaurant is there. There's a steakhouse there, but then there's like a park cafe where you can go and have soups and meanies and desserts and drinks and what have you. And that's free.
Like bistro style kind of.
Yeah. That's included in your deal. Jamie's you have to make reservations for and you pay, and I think like for dinner it was like $65 a person, and they give you a list of here's your appetizers, you pick an appetizer, you pick an entree, you pick dessert, and kind of like main dining, where every night they give you like you go in the main dining room and then they give you like 5 or 6 different choices for an appetizer.
Right.
Same with the meal and same with dessert. And some nights were themed.
Okay.
And some were, but they're always generally good. I mean, the food's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's usually higher end stuff you don't normally like first night I'm having prime rib.
Well, that's if you're going to be on vacation, you're going to eat like you're on vacation.
Yeah,
you're going to try stuff
one
you can't
night,
just get here.
Yeah.
So now, as far as like amenities go, the big one we'll get to. Did they offer any kind of like a spa package that was worked in, like massages, stuff like that?
You can do all of that. Yes, you can go and have a complete massage.
God, that sounds amazing.
Now
I threw my shoulder out on Sunday.
Well, now those you pay for as extras, amenities.
Oh, okay, so that's not included in
No.
Those you can
like
order.
a 70-minute massage, a hot stone massage, because I did go check that out. About $200.
Now, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not insignificant.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and sort of off topic.
Well, she traded that in for internet.
I decided to do an internet package.
She was like,
it's that much for the internet for one device?
For her, that's why I didn't have any.
I know. She was explained.
$200.
That's why we were playing telephone the whole time.
It was $200.
But
that's a lot.
Kim needs internet more than I need.
But do they have internet on the boat? If you don't have like Wi-Fi.
So you live life through the Royal Caribbean app.
Sure.
And so you get on the ship's Wi-Fi. And the ship's Wi-Fi will allow you to do everything in the app. Like you want to book reservations, if you want to find out what's open where or what's going on, that's your Bible, that app. However, that Wi-Fi only works for that. If you try to do any other thing, it's not going to let you unless you buy their Wi-Fi signal.
And I understand that the concept is you're on vacation, you don't want to be on your phone, but same time, I'm gonna get sick of looking at the people I'm with after about 3 days. I'm gonna need to see some Facebook.
Well, and like in your room, and there's lots of entertainment. There's shows and stuff. Thing that we learned, and this was different on this ship than other ships in past, which was actually a negative, not a positive.
Okay.
They have lots of shows. Like they were doing Grease as a show. They did this Columbus one.
Broadway.
There's like a water show that's kind of like your Cirque du Soleil, circusy water show thing. They had an ice skating show and things like that. Thing is, what they didn't tell us or what I didn't realize when we got on the boat, it's free, but you have to reserve it. And
gotcha.
And day one, they were already booked solid.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I did get us in a Columbus thing. I got us in 1 or 2 things, but a lot of we didn't get to do Grease because it was booked. And to be honest, the crew, I guess after several months, the cast change. So I guess this cast was just doing their last week on the ship, our week, and then the new cast was coming on that next week. And so at the end of the week, they did a Grease performance with the new cast and the old cast. And so I guess the new cast was been on Florida or wherever for the last 2 months rehearsing and getting ready for their turn. And now this group's getting ready to get off the ship and I guess be off. So
this group's just chewed up, just ready to be done.
I guess, yeah.
I
don't know how many months they're on the boat.
He said, and it was almost a while. I mean, it was more than 6 months.
Yeah, where they kind of, and I think that's how they rotate crews out and things. Like your cruise director's on for a couple months and then he's off, and I think they put him on a different boat after that, or whatever. Or maybe goes back to this boat. I don't know, but they kind of do all that.
Could you imagine spending the majority of your year at sea? You think it was hard for y'all to get your sea legs or your land legs after a week? I mean, you get off that guy gets off a boat after 7 months at sea. You're just basically walking serpentine.
Again, another reason I went into the Air Force and not the United States Navy.
7 days, I was ready to get off the ship.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'd imagine everybody at that point was just like, okay, we've done it. We've done it all. Like I was making the joke too. The trip back from your last port of call back to Galveston had to just be like, all right, are we there yet?
Well, some it's fun, some you do. It's because you get a little routine there. You're like, all right, it's time to eat again. Time to eat again.
Oh, that was like a chore. It became a chore. It's already time to eat. It felt like we just ate.
Although
oh my gosh.
I'm like, yeah, okay, twist my arm, make me eat another thing. At some point I'm like, all right, I got enough. But
one night I got my lobster.
Yeah,
it was nice. That was real nice.
But yeah, and then and like your days at sea, there were some activities you might want to check out and thing like the last day at sea, we did go watch. They had the men's belly flop competition, and so we hung out for that and watched it, and and then they did like a which I started to watch, and it got too much dude for me. I had to bail out, but but they had like the sexiest man contest, and I was good,
right?
Until this guy came out.
He was the first guy.
I know, but that really soured me quick.
Yeah.
He was in a singlet.
Mm-hmm.
Like a wrestling singlet.
Sure.
But his wasn't like for wrestling. His was a little too
gotcha. It
revealing.
Was open. It was open air.
His whole back end was exposed. Everything.
He had a trapdoor.
Everything in the front was on display under a satchel of red, white, and blue cloth.
Okay.
Not much of it.
Uh-huh.
He was not that fat. He was
okay.
He was thin. He was thin.
He had a dad bod. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. He wasn't.
The first guy was thin. I didn't see
thin with dad
bod
bod.
on. Okay.
Trust me, I was doing everything to avoid looking at the other parts to get to that. But yeah. And so there's a little of those. But of course, they do like the newlywed games and things like that, and those are fun. And we watch some of those.
The newlywed game, they had the newlyweds, the midweds, and the oldyweds, and those three couples competed. Yeah.
Did you guys play?
No. It was.
You're like, no, we're not going to put our marriage at risk like that.
No, I'm going to watch other people.
All that game is, hey, let's fight in the room later. The game.
Well, I'm pretty sure the newlyweds probably had a fight after there.
Uh-huh.
He was a little upset.
He was butthurt
because they rated their first kiss.
He got
and
6.
She gave him a 6.
And that wasn't even the worst score.
And you could tell it hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
He was sad after that.
And they'd been married like
2 days.
They were on their honeymoon. It was like, they were married like days before they got on the ship.
That's not fun.
Yeah, there were some problems there. He was upset. He was initially,
Oh, well.
That hurt his feelings.
The good news is the cruise was only 7 days. You can annul any marriage in 11 days in, so you're good.
Yes.
I'm sure they can, it never happened. Just dissolve the whole thing.
Well, and as a participant, they did get because the next day we were in port in Mexico, and so they got them like a gift certificate for a free set of sheets at the bamboo place there, which are really nice.
Bamboo sheets are amazing.
Worth $300.
Yeah, because we went to that place the next day.
To look at
we didn't buy bamboo sheets, but each of us, matter of factly,
they had a package. He's wearing his bamboo
socks, baby.
Nice. I've heard so much good stuff about bamboo socks.
My bamboo drawers are at the house.
Nice.
We got a shirt, socks, and underwear.
Did they keep you pretty dry? They stay pretty dry? Because that's one thing people say about bamboo is it's super breathable.
I've been wearing them about 2.5 hours now, and so far so good.
There you go. Now, as far as obviously there was the swimming pools. You guys have water slides and stuff. Did you guys spend a lot of time at the pool, or
didn't?
Not so much hanging out.
I didn't even put my bathing. Well, no, I did.
I mean, not for the pool. We did for excursions, but we didn't. Because it was a lot of people, a lot of crowd, and
that's just the first thing I think when I look at those boats is, gosh, those slides look like they're so much fun.
They're fun to hang out and stuff, but it just wasn't our thing per se.
It was so busy.
And it was very busy on some of that. Because they had like the rock climbing walls. They got...
That's where I got to imagine you guys were...
70 different slides.
You were a lot more thankful to have an actual room with a balcony that you could kind of have...
look space. Out. And ours was... So we looked out the ocean on our thing. And
when we got to Cozumel, I did put my bathing suit on for our excursion because we're supposed to swim with the dolphins.
Yeah, and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We haven't got into all that.
I was going to.
Yeah, I got 3
get
hours to
into
kill,
that.
Kim.
We're living boat life right now.
Got 3 hours to kill. We got to drag it out.
And that's basically what we were doing here while you guys were off doing your thing. Is every day we were trying to like speculate the mood. Like, okay, because you said the first 2 days is just at sea.
Yeah.
So it's just, and that's the exciting part. That's the getting to know the boat,
Exactly.
meeting people, like it's new at that point.
Exactly.
But by 2 days in, you're like, get me to land.
Yeah. And you find things that you go like, oh, it's time for this. And we had like certain places like to be at certain areas. And like I was saying, there was also a restaurant a deck above us that you had to, like for dinner and stuff, you had to make reservations and pay. But for breakfast, you could go up there and they had like a little buffet up there where you get eggs and sausage and pancakes and juices and fruits and all kinds of things. And so we would hit that one because it literally, we could just walk right up to it and it was right there. Like certain ones, like Central Park was really convenient for us. So we could just get on the elevator, go down a couple floors, boom, was right there.
Yeah, right there.
The other one
like
was,
a loft apartment in New York.
But to get to the main dining, to get to the buffet, we had to go like, because we were kind of forward, we had to go completely aft and up, 2 decks for the buffet and down like 10 decks to get to main dining. And so there was a little more logistics to get to those. And so sometimes, depending on hunger, where you were on location, like, we're right near here. The pizza place was open always late till like 3 a.m, but that was always the busiest and always, and it was right in what's called the promenade, which is kind of like a mall area.
Right
there, where there's other bars, restaurants, shops are there, and so that one's always busy and popular. So to get to drinks or get to things, it was sometimes a little hectic there.
This sounds to me like my experience in Las Vegas, because everybody was like, well, this is cool and that's cool, but everything was so packed.
And
Like,
some parts,
so you just couldn't experience
and
it.
then certain times of the day where things were popular, it was just, because everybody was there. Like, then that was also the place where they do like impromptu, like a flash mob, or they do, all right, let's start stretching, and they literally do like Richard Simmons stretching in the middle
Right
of the thing
there,
with the
middle of
dancers
shit.
and everybody. They do dance parties there, like they
Okay.
did a 70s party one night, and everyone's dressing up like village people and stuff, and
Had a parade.
doing stuff. Yeah, and so that's where that took place.
Sure.
But then, like right one deck above and slightly down, that's when you go to the boardwalk, and they had a full carousel there. You keep going, and that's if you walk to the end, that's where the water theater, if like you want to watch all that. But then, and the Johnny Rockets is there, and they had a couple other shops and restaurants and stuff around that area. So there was like different themed sections. Like there was the Central Park section that was like walking around a garden, or it was outdoors, but you still felt indoors, and so it was like you're walking in just like New York
And
City.
that's got to feel like the Caesars shops, like the Forum shops in Vegas, because they simulate day and night.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Well, this one you don't do simulate because it's whatever the day is or whatever the night is.
Well, sure, but it's
But
that,
you're
in that
outdoors.
enclosed space.
But you look up and there's sky. And when it rains, you get wet. But it's you still feel like you're in the ship, if it makes sense.
Which that leads me to my next question. How was the weather?
Weather was hot.
Yeah, it held up.
It was nice and humid.
See, this is the thing. If I'm hot, my mind immediately goes to, I don't care how many people are there, I'm going to that pool.
Yeah. Well, it's humid.
So humid. You just feel
Humidity
gross.
is
just feel
sticky.
gross
There
when you
is
step
very-
outside.
So there's not really respite from some of that. Even when
Plus-
you're in the shade, sometimes it's like, ugh.
I'd imagine even when you're at, like on your ports, there's all like those giant mosquitoes,
Well,
dengue
almost
fever and all
every
that.
single but almost every single time I walked out, my glasses just go, and it's not a little fogged up.
Yeah, it just
like
Can't see.
I can't like for the next 5 minutes, I'm not seeing out of these, and I tried not to wipe them because I didn't want to mess them up, get them all smudged and dirty. So I'll just let it do it itself, and it'll eventually go away. And a couple times I was not patient, but
Pro
I tried
tip:
not to be.
take them away from your face because that's working off of your face's humidity.
Yeah, and I did some of that too. But as soon as you put it back on, it goes
Oh, of
right.
course.
So you kind of have to power through it.
That happens to me in Oklahoma. Like every time I get out of the car.
Well, it's times 10 on that boat. It's just so. I mean, when you go like and taste humidity, that's
and
what
you're
it's like.
surrounded by nothing but water. It makes sense. There's nothing but humidity.
But it's so beautiful. It's really beautiful thing. But speaking of which,
Good. I was gonna say, do the weather, do the break. I'm gonna do some stuff over there, and then I have I have a question about the big thing.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's pause for weather and a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more. We got something else we want to do too, so we'll do that on the other side. It's 8:32. Update for weather, quick commercial break, and news. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today, right around 105 for the afternoon high. It will be a little bit breezy, and we get lots of sunshine. Clear for the overnight hours, upper 60s and low 70s, and then sunny and mid-90s for the afternoon high on Wednesday. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower, and then a lot cooler on Thursday. Cold front moving through, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
Calling all men. June is Men's Health Month, and Artesia General Hospital wants you to step up and take care of your health. Every year, thousands of men in the U.S. die from preventable diseases. Take control of your health today and schedule a visit before something is wrong. Artesia General Hospital has specialists in a variety of men's health disciplines, but your primary care provider is the best place to start. Take your health seriously for yourself and for your loved ones. Visit artesiageneral.com/men's health or call 575-746-3119.
Are you looking for something fresh, or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a bright new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
With summer here, it's cool to be at the Cow. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop is your authorized Brothers Sewing Machine dealer for Southeast New Mexico, and they're all on sale right now at the Calico Cow. New fabric styles for summer are here, and holiday and Christmas fabrics are arriving daily. If you're still stitched to your own machine and you just want a tune-up, call for in-house maintenance 575-639-2586. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Oh! Shooters, mark your calendars for the H.F. Sinclair 3rd Annual Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range, benefiting the Artesia FFA. Main event is Saturday. Registration at 7 a.m. 1 in 4 participants win prizes, gun boards, raffles, and lunch included. There's an option Friday night light shoot with $40 individual rounds. Details and registration info at artesiachamber.com. Deadline is July 1st. The 3rd Annual H.F. Sinclair Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. It feels like deja vu all over again. A new wildfire is prompting evacuations near Ruidoso, dubbed the South Fork Fire. Anyone in the following areas are told to evacuate immediately if you haven't already. The village of Ruidoso, Upper Canyon, Brady Canyon, Ponderosa Heights, Flume Canyon, all of Alpine Village on either side of Musket Ball, and Apache Summit. The only route to evacuate is using Highway 70 and to Roswell. Meanwhile, the Inn of the Mountain Gods Convention Center in Mescalero is available for anyone evacuating, both tribal and non-tribal. Livestock can be evacuated to Mescalero Rodeo Grounds. The city of Roswell has set up shelters at ENMU Roswell's Gymnasium, the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds for livestock, the Church on the Move Dream Center and the Church on the Move building, and the Encanto Event Center. Eddy County is also providing a free place for evacuees' horses. You do need 5-499-3260. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 37 minutes after 8 o'clock. And yes, still updates there. Just nothing new since we last spoke. Just still, evacuations. Everything's in place. The fires. Like you said, I think they're going to be doing a press conference here about 20 minutes on the Ruidoso's, I guess, Facebook page and all that stuff.
Greg just sent a picture of the fire. It grew. It's currently heading towards the Alto area. It's actually just now at Alto Lakes, it looks like.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Eagle Creek and Galvin Canyon. The Alpine Cedars Village is affected. Sierra Vista's up near there.
Her folks had some houses up in that Galvin Canyon area and all that. Yeah.
As of right now, it looks like it hasn't affected the downtown area. The convention center is still unaffected. The middle and high school haven't been hit. And
well, obviously the evacuations are in place from Mescalero, Ruidoso, the Downs. That whole area is under evacuation orders.
And unless the winds change, it looks like it's moving northeast at this point.
Okay.
So
well, hopefully the rains come in
Yeah.
to save some of the days on some of this. They get containment. As long as the winds, hopefully keep them from. Hopefully they don't pick up too bad here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we're dealing at as far as the latest on some of that stuff there.
And again, head to 106.5's Facebook page. We have a whole list of resources, phone numbers available. As those spaces get filled up, if somebody out there could let us know so we can keep our lists updated, just to make sure that we have the most recent information.
Yep, and then of course on our Facebook, like you said, and on our video this morning, on when you're not looking at me and Sean, there's a little scrolling tick of various places that are and phone numbers. For shelters, for animals, for humans, for everybody there, including the places I mentioned, the Enemy Gymnasium, Church on the Move, the Godfrey Center on NMMI campus, the Dream Center on 2nd's part of Church on the Move, the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, and Fairgrounds, particularly there for RV and your livestock animals and all that good stuff there. So
yeah, want to make sure we have space for all the aminals that are coming down.
Yep, and as we get other updates too, but I did mention earlier too, about 40 minutes ago, Juliana Halverson, City Councilor, posted on her Facebook that at this time, don't take supplies to the evacuation centers just yet.
They're working.
They're coordinating, working. They're trying to have a centralized location where people can take it all to one spot for district. And so, as soon as we get that information, we will share that with the public and everybody here. So.
Yes, sir. Now, so the big moving on back to the cruise.
Yeah.
The big amenity that was advertised that was peeking Mike's bonnet.
Oh yeah.
Was that this was the first ship, at least that we knew of, that had a full-fledged ice skating rink in it.
Yeah, and the others, I guess some of these other ones do too.
Okay.
And, I signed up for the ice skating. I went and checked it out, and I soured on it.
Really?
And I didn't do it because I didn't think it'd be fun.
But even just like get back on skates again?
Yes. But to be honest, what I wanted to do, I couldn't do.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do it.
So
the rink is not huge. It's
a little rink.
It's
little skating rink.
Would you say it's rinky-dink?
It's rinky-dink.
It's a smaller rink.
Okay.
It's big enough to do their little ice show on.
Sure.
But it's not really conducive for an open skate.
Okay.
And it was elbows and other things to even navigate on that ice rink. I wanted to hockey stop. I wanted to see if I could skate. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is just me going to break my neck because I'm going to try to stand up and can't skate and I ain't going to be able to skate because there's too many people.
Right.
And so I just said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'll ice skate someplace where I can spread my wings.
There you go.
And so I didn't do it, not for that reason. I watched it and I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm like, it's too many little people, little kids, and then you had a couple teenagers that were, and then there's just a lot of people doing and I was like, I don't want to do this. You know, it's just not fun to me.
They make you wear a helmet.
Well, that I probably would have thought was a good idea because, quite frankly, I
think that was just a mic thing.
No, they all had But that didn't bother me because, it's been 30 years since I've been on these.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put a
It's
brain
a
buster
good
on.
idea.
Protect what little I got left.
I'm just not used to seeing people ice skating with helmets.
Oh, me either. The only time I wore it was when I played hockey, and it was a full cage and everything else. But
It's funny how in our heads we build up these experiences, and crowds make everything so much worse.
it did. It just looked not fun anymore. And I was like, this is just a headache. And the only time I could get was like in the middle of the day when we were on excursion. So I was just like, but before we talk about anything else, Kim and I got you a little gift, a little something.
Aww. Thank you.
Thank you. Just because for folks that don't know, not only has been Sean bailing me out here in the office all week, but Sean's been keeping our fur balls healthy at home for the week and
never saw him, not once. Heard him once running away from me, but
and so we just appreciate it. So while we were shopping in Costa, what's that place called?
Puerto Costa Maya.
There it is in Mexico. I found a gift, and I said, of all of my friends, Sean would appreciate this gift.
This was a Sean gift.
Okay.
So we did get you. You want to grab it, Kim, there, and just got him a little, nothing major, just a little something.
There you go.
That I figured if anybody would get a kick out of this, it would be a Sean Small.
So,
Oh, don't worry about
I'm
that.
curious about the brand Caraloa.
That's the bamboo.
That was our bamboo store.
Okay.
That's.
I haven't even taken it out of the bag and I already know what it is. Oh my god! You got me a lucha. This is La Parca's mask. This is La Parca.
That's a famous guy's mask.
That's La Parca. That's he's a famous lucha wrestler.
Now it fit my head, so I'm hoping it fit yours.
We're about to find out is what we're gonna do.
My head was the
the eyes? Hang on, there are the eyes.
That's gonna get thrown over your head.
Okay, yeah.
That's a hood.
Yeah, swing it back.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Oh, that's awesome.
So from Mexico.
Oh my god.
An official luchador.
And that came from Puerto Costa Maya.
That's awesome. How's it look, huh?
Looks good.
I don't have the glasses on, so I can't really tell. Oh, that's great. That is fantastic.
I figured of all the people that I know that would love a luchador mask, it would be Sean.
Well, now I got to do the thing because La Parca's whole thing was he would grab a chair and he did this. It was called the spooky, scary skeleton dance. That was like his signal that he was about to do his move, which, if I'm not mistaken, was a. That is awesome! Oh my god, you guys just totally made my Tuesday.
Awesome, I'm glad.
I don't want to take this off.
It seemed a little warm to me, but you do you. I was in Mexico when I was wearing it.
I love it. Well, I'm glad you like it, Sean.
Oh, I can't wait to get the singlet now. This was the thing that keeping me from my lucha career.
I didn't know your size on the singlet.
If it's too tight, there's strings in the back.
Yeah, it's got the lace up in the
up
back there
so that you can fit it to your size.
To your head. But
that's great.
But yeah, I was like, a luchador mask. I think Sean would love this.
I just like that was on the shelf. That's fantastic.
Well, it was. They had these shops and they were. And this one particular one had luchador masks and things and jewelry and other, just stuff,
just rando stuff.
Yeah, just stuff, jewelry to decor to masks to everything. They just had a little bit of that. So I was like,
that's awesome.
And so while we're in Costa Maya Playa,
Puerto Costa Maya.
That place.
He's not even gonna try.
I got Cozumel, I got Rotan. That one I could not get in my head. But and so we got that, and that's where I got my bamboo underpants and shirts and socks, and Kim got her bamboo set as well too.
I will say this: you're right. It is getting really hot.
Imagine wearing that for a couple hours and doing wrestling moves and all.
And doing high impact moves.
Yeah, that's
insane. Oh, that's amazing.
Now, granted, I imagine his might have a little bit more ventilation and things for it, where this is more for,
Like, I'm sure it's not directly La Parca because of copyright and stuff, but
I'm sure there's. Yeah, and let's all face it, in this part of the country, trademarks and things aren't necessarily honored.
That's true. It is Mexico.
Put it this way: this is also the same area where you can buy pretty much any NFL team's maybe or maybe not officially licensed gear of the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, you want this hat with a Dallas Cowboy logo on it, or you want this rando purse or whatever with a.
See, that's basically that's La Parka.
Yeah.
La Parka. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know he was I was a famous guy's
Yeah.
mask. I just saw that looked cool and I grabbed it.
That rules.
It was the coolest looking one of the bunch.
He might have. Yeah, when they did, it might have been his son. We had a big lucha thing for a while here, so it might have happened.
Very well possibly.
that is
I
too
don't
cool.
have I don't have a knowledge of
I feel
based
bad
on-
having this much joy on a day like today, but man, that's awesome.
It's okay. Don't have joy.
It's all right to be happy sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm sure the world's burning.
You know, maybe we're a distraction for some people
Exactly.
today. That's what I'm hoping a little bit. So, maybe with our tomfoolery, we can have a little distraction there. But yeah, unfortunately, on the ice skating thing, we didn't get to do that. And
see, this is the other thing. Yeah, no, we're running out of time. Do you have a break still?
I do. I got one more we got to knock out. So here in the next couple minutes, we'll need to pause.
I feel like the hack would have been, as you get to your ports of call, stay on the boat while everybody else gets off, so you can enjoy some of the amenities.
And we did a little of that, but
Yeah.
and then certain days, people just didn't get off. You know, some stayed on, and some, like our last day in Cozumel, it was raining that first morning, so people were. And we were one of the idiots getting off the boat because we had
Our excursion to swim with
that
dolphins.
morning. And we missed
There
all
was a
that.
change of plans.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into all that next hour.
I think I'm gonna have to do it next hour because I only got like 5 minutes, and it needs more than 5 minutes. to
Well,
tell
yeah,
the
we have
story.
3 different ports of call to talk about.
Yeah. So stay tuned to hear what happens in Cozumel.
But
there was a change of events, and everything kind of got sidebarred. So we'll leave it at that.
Stay tuned for the next hour of Mike and the Mask Man.
Yeah.
But in that Costa Maya, that one we just did some shopping. We didn't do an excursion. We just walked around. And matter of fact, I think we did a couple boat things that day. We just kind of, we ate. We had a couple drinks off ship, but I was not buying food.
Well, and I
I
imagine
had 80,000 things of food on that boat.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, when you're on the boat, it's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's get something to eat.
Well, and every, like you mentioned drinks, every drink I'm sure was like $6, $8, $10.
Now, like sodas, we had a soda package.
Okay.
Because Kim and I aren't big drinkers, so we, occasionally Kim had her pina colada here and there, but for the most part, we paid those as we went.
Right.
But we did get the soda thing, which.
Okay.
So basically, how that worked is they gave you a cup. It was a Royal Caribbean insulated cup, and it had a chip in it
on the bottom.
And so there was
Chip.
a couple of the Coca-Cola freestyle machines on the ship, and you could access and get sodas.
So it was all you could drink, essentially.
You had to
with the
set
freestyle.
your cup at the bottom of it,
So it could
and
read
it
your
read
chip.
the chip
Gotcha.
to know that you could
So
use
people
the
that-
machine.
It would unlock it.
You couldn't just rent. Now, and of course, also conversely, any bar or anything, if you said, I want a Coke, you flash your card and they give you a Coke.
Sure.
So if you weren't near a freestyle machine or didn't have your cup, you could still get probably within feet of walking and getting a soda. But that was 24/7. So at like 3 a.m, if nothing's open, you're like, I want a Coke. You can go and walk up to the freestyle machine.
Nice.
Coke.
That does sound like heaven to me.
Now this boat was a little different on one thing, but I made up for it.
Okay.
This cruise ship doesn't have a soft serve ice cream machine like every 10 feet, like
right.
some of the other
like
ships
like the
have.
Disney cruise did.
This one had one.
Oh.
And it was attended, and it was only open from like 10 a.m. to like 8 p.m. at night.
Aw.
I did partake, of course.
Okay.
However, I didn't have my ice cream time. However, between the Windjammer buffet, my main eating courses, I had chocolate ice cream pretty much every
Nice.
meal and every scenario. And no matter how full or how just gross I felt, there was always room for a thing of ice.
It is wafer thing. I admire your commitment. I gotta say.
And so I had kind of a go-to when you hit the buffet guy, 2 scoops, brother. And then I go hit, and he's like, of course, man, don't get that pink stuff on there. And then I got my 2 scoops, and then I hit the bar, the little Fixins bar.
Right.
And they had like a caramel sauce I poured on that bad boy. Sometimes they had Oreo crumbles. Sometimes it was shaved coconut or shaved chocolate truffle, something nonsense or something, you know.
Almost every Fixins bar for a Sunday, they have gummy bears. That is the stupidest thing to put on ice cream because they get really hard.
Yeah.
That's nobody eats gummy bears on your ice cream.
You know where they do a little work? Is like Bahama Bucks. Like I'll get the Bahama Bucks and I'll get the ones sometimes with the gummy bears and all that in there and some of that. But here's an update real quick and then I'm going to...
Yeah, we should probably take a break.
Take a quick break. Something different. This is a note. First Baptist Church here in Roswell. Volunteers needed. New Mexico Baptist Disaster Relief will be setting up at NMUR to provide approximately 300 meals twice a day. We need volunteers to help cook, clean, and serve. Please use the comments on their First Baptist Church of Roswell Facebook page or direct message to provide your name, number, and information so they can compile a list of volunteers. You'll be also on call. You can also call the First Baptist Church office at 575-623-2640 if you'd like to volunteer to help at their, like I said, they're going to be at the NMUR facility there providing meals and helping out there. So, 8:53, I do got to take a quick break. Your Lou Dobbs business update, quick break before we get into top of the hour news and all that. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Stocks climbing to start this short week. Retail sales data today. Apple climbing. Only 3 trading days left this week. The market closed tomorrow for the Juneteenth holiday. Investors looking to build off of early gains. All 3 major indexes higher yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial snapping a 4-day losing streak. The S&P climbing to a new all-time high of 41 points. And Broadcom, Apple, and Microsoft pushing the NASDAQ up 168 points. More insight into the state of the consumer with today's May retail sales data. Wall Street targeting a 0.3% increase in overall retail sales. Meanwhile, Apple stock still climbing. The stock up nearly 12% over the past 5 days of trading. And the U.S. suing Photoshop maker Adobe. The lawsuit claims Photoshop users were hit with hidden fees from Adobe, and that Adobe made it difficult for users to cancel the subscription. This after positive earnings sent Adobe shares surging last week. The stock down slightly after yesterday's news. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Companies in the United States are 10 times more likely to be a victim of a cyber attack. Manufacturing, healthcare, retail, financial services, the leading targets. Arison's Cyber Z Suite provides the protection you need before your data gets stolen, bank accounts get drained, and operations are at a standstill. Call Arison today to schedule a no-obligation consultation. That's 908-878-7717. Aricent, ERACENT.com. 908-878-7717.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support?
Clear.
With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $1,515 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:58. We will continue to update as we get updates coming in on the situation and the fires in Ruidoso. There, everything I'm seeing is not good. Like I've just now starting to see reports that Alto area is in parts of what is considered downtown Alto, if there's really such a thing, is in flames and things right now. It's not good. So, continue if people are able to help. I'm sure there's resources needed in lots of places. Get on social media. I've been seeing quite a bit. Like I just said, we just announced the one about First Baptist Church here in Roswell's putting together to feed people who are in need of volunteers. I know Church on the Move was in need of blankets and donations and volunteers as well there. I'm sure there's other entities involved as well too. Like I said, the latest I've heard from city stuff is the evacuation areas. I did see an update from City Councilor Juliana Halverson about an hour ago, expressing that at this time they're asking people not to bring items to the evacuation areas for donations as of yet, while they are coordinating to have a centralized location for all of that stuff. As I get that information, I will share that to you. But reach out to entities directly if you have things and you want to help out. And as we get that, saying, hey, people can drop off things here to go to help everybody. As soon as I get that, I will share that to you. But as of right now, they're asking people not to just bring stuff to the evacuation centers, that are trying to coordinate something more centralized for that. It is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. And like I said, as we get updates, we will share those as soon as humanly possible. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Do not go away.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Consumers cut back on retail purchases in April and May.
Retail sales rose a meager 0.1% in May, and April sales were revised downward from unchanged to a 0.2% decline. According to the latest report from the Commerce Department, sales of clothing and accessories were up slightly, and May spending rose 0.3% if you exclude gas. Although gas prices are falling, sales at gas stations, which include convenience items, were down 2.2%. Building and garden supplies were down 0.8%, and restaurant spending fell 0.3%. The government reports the job market is still strong and price increases have slowed, but anxiety over cumulative inflation has driven down consumer sentiment for the last 3 months. Jennifer King, Washington.
Bernie Bennett reports on a meeting between House Speaker Mike Johnson and former President Trump to talk about the election.
The Mar-a-Lago meeting, Johnson's second in a week with the former president, and one which included National Republican Campaign Committee Chairman Richard Hudson of North Carolina, ended with a thumbs up and a photo op. Mr. Trump had already helped candidates in many GOP contests this year, but this sit-down shows the party leaders working toward even more collaboration as the election approaches. Johnson wrote on social media, "Our party is united and working together. I'm confident we will send President Trump back to the White House, win back the Senate, and grow our House Republican majority."
That's Bernie Bennett reporting. Majorities of Americans favor forgiving all or some of an individual's medical debt.
That's according to a new poll from the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy and the Associated Press North Center for Public Affairs Research. It finds that about half of Americans say it's extremely or very important for the U.S. government to provide debt relief for those who have yet to pay off medical treatments. While reducing student loan has been a focus for President Biden, the poll found that Americans are more likely to say medical debt relief should be a government priority.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. More from townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Visitors to Yellowstone are hoping to catch a glimpse of a rare white buffalo.
The recent appearance of a white bison calf has excited wildlife watchers in Yellowstone National Park. Many are keeping a close watch for the little creature since Montana wildlife photographer Aaron Bratton got several photos of the calf with its mother on June 4th, shortly after its birth. The calf, though, has not been spotted since, leading many to speculate it may have died. Jason Walker reporting.
Researchers are examining dozens of bottles of cherries and berries uncovered from the cellar of George Washington's Mount Vernon mansion on the banks of the Potomac River. One researcher says the discovery of so many perfectly preserved foods from more than 250 years ago is essentially unprecedented. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved his six-member war cabinet. Here's correspondent Joe Fetterman.
Netanyahu formed the war cabinet shortly after the war erupted last October. He brought in his defense minister, Yoav Gallant, but also his main political rival, Benny Gantz. Gantz is a respected former military chief and ex-defense minister. By bringing him on board, this sent an important message of unity to the Israeli public. But the two men had not been getting along in recent months, and last week, Gantz announced his resignation. He said he was unhappy with the way that Netanyahu was managing the war. That set the stage for Netanyahu to disband the war cabinet altogether. This doesn't bring his government down, but it transfers most decision-making, or important decision-making, back to his security cabinet.
The Prime Minister says he'll hold sensitive consultations in a smaller forum dubbed the Kitchen Cabinet. More on these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters right here, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
I know a lot going on this morning with the fires in Ruidoso. I'm hearing reports now that Alto and East LA area is up in flames.
Yeah, Swiss Chalet burned down.
Yeah.
It burned down?
That's what I'm hearing reports. Again, these are reports I'm getting online.
Sure. Yeah, it's all speculative until we have confirmation, but I stayed there when I was a kid. That's crazy.
Just looking on the Village of Ruidoso's page, Alto by the Swiss Chalet area and all that kind of a place, iconic, I guess you'd say. I don't know if that's the right
It is.
But yeah, kind of an iconic place there in the Ruidoso area. I'm getting reports again. Reports. I mean, I have.
And these are going to keep coming in from all over the place.
They are the Village of Ruidoso, as of 39 minutes ago, so basically saying that please stay out of the area. Do not attempt to get back into the village. There are no open roads into Ruidoso, and New Mexico State Police will have roadblocks at all entry points and will not allow you to pass. So
that is awful.
About 2 hours ago, they gave an update saying the South Fork fire has consumed 13,921 acres and is 0% contained. The Salt fire at this point has consumed 4,876 acres, also 0% contained. The complex team will be arriving this afternoon to assume command of the fire. They are expecting weather conditions similar to yesterday. Wind is forecasted to be 15 to 20 miles an hour with relative humidities in the single digits. There will be massive air attacks today, and Dozier lines are being cut. We will keep you posted, and you can also see updates at ruidoso-nm.gov for updates there as well. And in the area, 1490 AM on the radio there, if you're in that immediate area. I don't know what kind of
I can't imagine
transmission area that covers, so I don't know if you get any of that from here or not. But
I can't imagine they're doing a normal breakfast club this morning.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure none of that's happening. No. By the way, I did see something. Obviously, they were talking. It was a Pioneer Bank thing saying obviously that they're closed in Ruidoso offices today, but they did say on that message that they are accepting donations at all Pioneer banks. So if you do have donations, I do know the Pioneer Bank, among some of those others I mentioned earlier, is one of those places. So you can go to any branch of a Pioneer Bank here in town and make donations there too. That's according to their Facebook. They're accepting donations. Yeah. So that's some of the more recent stuff I've seen over the last few minutes here, on top of the stuff we've been talking about all morning here with evacuation and fire updates and all that kind of stuff. Like you said, my wife was saying that they should be here around this time, be doing a press conference, updating folks on that. I've not seen anything as of yet on that one, but as far as anything online official about it, but that'll come in, and as we get that information, we'll definitely share that stuff along, pass that information along to you. So, but that's what I'm looking at right now online at the latest and stuff. A lot of let's
see, I'm on ruidoso-nm.gov. I'm trying to see if they're going to update.
Okay, I'm seeing a few. My wife was telling me some posts where people are together, like doing some searching for relatives and stuff. There's still a lot of people trying to connect with loved ones and things, making seeing they're okay and things. But nothing I'm hearing is good, unfortunately. Right. Everything I'm seeing as far as the fire and containment, it's bad and getting worse, and they're dealing with as they go accordingly.
And we're battling the elements. We're in the middle of a heat wave. I mean, the winds are going to be doing what they do, and so it's really firefighters as much as possible just trying their best to set up lines to stop the spread.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's and smoke's an issue. So obviously, and that's going to be an issue here as well. So folks that do have asthma or respiratory issues might want to think about that. If you're even if you're out here in Roswell today, they're saying we could be impacted by some of the smoke.
Oh, most definitely. Air quality issues are going to be a factor today. So if you have asthma or any kind of breathing condition, do your best to stay inside as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And if make connections. Obviously, if you've got friends and family and loved ones, I'm sure most of you are trying to reach out and connect with them, and hopefully
there is a Facebook page that I've stumbled on a couple of times called Reunite Ruidoso, where folks are posting basically information on folks if they've lost family members or have gotten disconnected from people. They're basically putting information out. So if you have any information about somebody who maybe got separated while evacuating the fire, that would be a place to post any details there.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's kind of what we're seeing and sharing as we see this stuff. But that's kind of the latest right now. Nothing really major to share that we haven't already shared at this point. So, but stay tuned to our Facebook throughout the day. As we get updates, we'll be shooting those on there and going on the radio, obviously, as needed for updates and things like that too. Throughout this whole fire situation. So I wish I had more and better information for you, but that's what we're at right now as things are still getting sorted out and dealt with here. Let's see, even the maps and things I'm looking at aren't looking very positive.
Oh God, I just saw a side-by-side picture somebody posted of, it says, please pray for Ruidoso, New Mexico and Gorman, California.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're dealing with the exact same thing right now, just a massive blaze.
Yeah, but I mean, the Linder list of evacuated meaning all Ruidoso Downs, all Village of Ruidoso, Upper Canyon, Brady Canyon, Ponderosa Heights, Alpine Village, Cedar Creek, Lower Eagle Creek, Alto Lakes, Santero 1, 2, and 3, all of Alto, all the way to Outlaw Golf Course, West Gavilan, Sun Valley, Sierra Vista, via Madonna, Ski Run Road, all west of Highway 48. All of that area is evacuated. They say evacuation notes, and this is from right now from the Ruidoso evacuation. Highway 380 is open through Hondo. Both Highway 48 and Highway 70 at Apache Summit are closed. So evacuation route is Highway 70 to Roswell. State Highway 48 is closed from Alpine Village University to State Highway 220. US 70 is closed from New Mexico 249 intersection New Mexico 244, 4 miles east of Mescalero, to New Mexico 258, 2 miles east of Carrizozo. Emergency Operations Center has relocated to the county courthouse in Carrizozo and has new phone numbers to the phone. Please call. Their EOC numbers are 575-937-7785, 575-973-5604, 575-973-8977. Other shelters that on their website they're listing even outside of Roswell: Capitan High, Carrizozo High, Christ Community Church in Alamogordo, obviously Church on the Move here, the Dream Center, Eastern New Mexico, Godfrey Center, Inn of the Mountain Gods, animal shelters, the Mescalero Ruidoso Grounds, Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, the Lee County Fairgrounds. My wife just said she saw a country club animal clinic.
They're taking in
small
dogs and
cats at their
as long as they have room available.
Until they've got room, absolutely. So that if you need a smaller pet that needs some shelter, they are offering some as they've got it.
Waymaker Church looks like they've opened up their facilities as well.
Okay,
for folks.
Did mention that First Baptist Church here in Roswell's putting together a group. They're needing volunteers and things as they're going to be serving food out at the college here. It looks like later today, be doing a couple meals a day out there for the foreseeable future for folks as needed there. They're looking for volunteers, so reach out to First Baptist Church to their Facebook or their office number, and if you are able to or would like to help out there. Again, I have not heard anything as far as donations, coordinated at place. I did get a report from one of our city councilors saying at this time they're not really wanting you to take stuff to the evacuation centers as they coordinate an effort to get a centralized location for everyone to donate that stuff. However, I did see reports at Church on the Move, like I said, First Baptist Church, Artesia, Pioneer Bank. They're all taking donations and things. So if you got to get it to someone now and maybe you logistically can't do it later, those places are doing it, I think, as we speak right now. So that's what I got on that.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it. I mean, Yeah. If you have resources available, please reach out. If you can make a donation, again, we have don't make the donation yet. We're getting things coordinated and set up. Eventually, there will be a centralized spot for everybody to make donations.
Yeah.
So,
but like I said, if you need to do it now, and like I said, Pioneer Bank, all Pioneer Bank locations in town are accepting donations. Church on the Move at the office there on Brasher. The First Baptist Church Artesia is looking for volunteers, like you said. I'm sorry, was it
Waymaker?
Waymaker Church was another one.
Just they have a little bit of a bigger facility, so they can house a few more people.
And I'm sure we'll get more of those as the day progresses and more people start coming in.
Right.
And other facilities get filled up and things like that. I know. I don't know statuses on full. I did see reports that the Dream Center is full, but they're taking still people over at the church. I don't know if that situation's still the same or it's changed.
Yeah, and a lot of these updates are still, I mean, some of them are hours old, some are minutes old, so it's kind of hard to keep track of
what's the freshest
what's happening
information
right
on some of this stuff. But as far as some of the, reports and things, pictures, all that's very helpful, but please do remember that, when you get on social media, like all things on social media, sometimes not all the information is accurate. So when you do see the reports and things, obviously pay attention to them. But unless it's from official sources, i.e. city, village, a government entity of some kind, stating it, take it, verify and trust but verify kind of scenario is what I'm saying. Unfortunately, everybody shares their thoughts, and people are, obviously emotionally impacted this greatly, and sometimes things get a little over the top on some of the information that gets out there. I don't want to get too deep into the craziness, but
just grain of salt.
Some of the stuff you might
let's not speculate wildly until it's time for speculation.
Yeah, let's not create more confusion
Exactly.
when right now we're in an area where clear and concise information is what's needed.
Exactly.
Let's not try to muddy the waters with speculation until there'll be a time and a place for that. We can Monday morning quarterback it all day.
See, it's times like these that, and I have a variety of different sound effects and accoutrement in front of me, but it's times like these I feel like we really need a steel drum. Just for segue purposes.
Well, on our way driving, I downloaded a bevy of Conan O'Brien's Conan Needs a Friend podcast. And so we listened to hours and hours of Conan needing a friend.
Those are great because he'll just randomly go off into just riffs, and his two co-hosts will just kind of go with him on it, but then they'll just laugh along.
Yeah. And but anyway, so I've seen a lot of the sounders because the way they produce that show is, and sometimes they interview celebrities and things, but I don't think it's necessarily like live.
Yeah, no.
There was a pre-record, and so they have their little transition music and sounders like you were talking about with the steel drums. So I was like, I listened to a lot of that over our travels in the last.
Sometimes you just need a little palate cleanser, just a quick amuse-bouche to get you to the next thing. So for those who are just tuning in, Mike and Cameron are back after 7 luxurious days off on the Royal Caribbean's. What was it? This one is the
Harmony of
the Sea. Okay,
yeah, that was the name of our ship.
Now, first 2 days on the boat, by the time you guys got to dry land, what was the mood? Your first port of call. What was the mood?
That was in Honduras.
Yeah, that was in Rotan.
And it was nice to see land and to be able just to get off. I remember thinking, we get to get out of here for a little while.
It was nice to get on. Now, it's a beautiful country and also a different world.
Sure.
It's third world.
Say third world because I don't want to say third world because it's not like Beirut. It's not like that.
But there was some slummy. There was some slummy.
But you see parts. You're on 4.
Yeah.
You see parts that aren't necessarily the tourist parts.
And see, that was my question: is when you're dropped off in a port of call, I would imagine it's like a Sandals, like they drop you off in like the resort area. But if you venture off the path, then you run into problems.
And all these ports of call, they're used to the cruise ships coming in, and
Sure.
they get usually it's 2 at any given time in port.
I'd imagine just dudes on the shoreline with like cheek laid.
Oh yeah, and that's you kind of go through the gauntlet there
Mhm.
into the shops and things. But that's also where you catch your excursions, and they offer excursions like you can get off the boat and there's people trying to put you on excursions.
Mhm.
We have enough experience in our cruising to know we pre-book those excursions.
I would imagine.
We do them so they're all through Royal Caribbean or company vetted businesses and things.
Hey, why don't you and your lovely wife get in this Jeep with me and my crew?
Yeah, you can do that, but we chose not to.
In fairness, that would be an experience. They really did give you an
And
experience.
to be honest, most of them are probably just fine. Sure. But again, to get the people that get to those stories you keep seeing, those start on situations like that.
Yeah.
So just to avoid that altogether, we pre-do all that.
So you guys booked a couple of different excursions.
Yes.
We did.
So the first port was there in Rotan. And
Rotan, is that in
that's Honduras.
That's in
It's an
Honduras.
island.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not part of the mainland. It's a Honduran island.
Every time you say Rotan, all I think is Roytan, which is the cigar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's like where
It's
they roll.
Roatan.
And they were pronouncing it Roatan.
Yeah.
Roytan, the brand of cigar.
Roatan.
Yeah, I say Rotan, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. Some people say Rotan or whatever you want to call it.
The locals were
I
saying
think of
Roatan.
Rodan, the Godzilla monster.
But so anyway, so that was our first place, and we did book an excursion there where we went to this park.
Okay.
And
We had about a 30-minute ride on this bus.
and so we go to the
How much time do you guys have off boat? Like they give you a
all day.
Is it? Okay.
Like we get in. Like I think they let us off the boat about 8:30 that morning.
And we had to
start
be
getting off.
back by 4:30.
But
Gotcha.
but 4:30, that's when you're back on. At 4:30,
You'll
the ship
miss your ship. They start closing.
So I gotta
things.
ask, do they do a head count of
Yes.
everyone?
They do have
Or
a
will-
system.
you have to get in.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you know this, but will they just
It's
will they
done
leave
with modern
without?
tech.
Yes, they will
Yes,
leave
they
without
will leave
you.
without
They will leave without
Oh,
you.
they're on a schedule.
yes.
Yeah. But they use modern technology to do this. You have a boarding You like when you get in and out, you got to scan in and out. You have your what's called your Sea Pass, which is basically your card that you navigate everything on the ship. You have to carry your ID, your passport, or driver's
Yeah.
license to get.
When they scan
visual.
your board pass, your C pass card, your picture, because they take a picture of you before you get on.
Mhm.
So that's in the system, and
So-
it keeps track. And when you come back, you have to have to
So they
scan
know
your
when you get
card.
off the
They do
boat
make
when
an
you're-
effort to get you back on the ship. Is
Oh,
what,
yeah.
is what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Oh yeah, they yeah. I mean, but if you just
They're
flat
not just
out,
gonna, they're not just gonna say, "Oh, well, you know."
if you flat out don't get on the boat, then they will leave you.
Hands are tied.
But they do try to wrangle the stragglers.
Yeah.
There's always a few, people that drank a little too much that don't realize, and you might have to carry them on the boat. There's always that, one or two of those.
And some people they do their own thing, so it's not like they have a guide
Yeah,
or
you're
a group.
adults. They
so
let you-
they
Right.
have to, got to be adult and keep up
You-
with the
you can-
time and get yourself back on the ship.
Yeah, you can sign up for some of this stuff, which all know the schedule and will have you back on the schedule.
Right.
Or you can venture off on your own, and that's where you're like, that's fine, as long as your butt's back here by 4:30.
Yeah, that's risky business.
Yeah, that's where you're free to. You're in a country. You're an adult. Wherever you want to go, you go. Better be back on that thing at 4:30, or that ship will leave.
Right.
Right, but like if you happen to get smuggled or something, like they're not going to make an effort to
If
call
we
the-
get into
the-
that,
the
then
National
then
Guard or
governments
anything
get
like-
involved and all that. But then, generally speaking, there's yes.
Like, do they
if
have
you don't
policies?
return to the boat and you're missing, they do send out people looking for you
Sure.
and try to locate.
Plus, if
you.
you didn't scan back in, they know. Well, it's Jim Richards that's not didn't
Yeah.
make the boat.
Okay.
But so yes, there is that. But anyway, so day one we went to Rotan there. We went to this park for animals, and this particular park was home to sloths, monkeys, macaw birds, and a couple other animals. But we were there to see sloths, monkeys, and birds.
Okay. So did they? Were there signs up, or did they warn you before you went in to secure your wallet?
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
did
There was
warn
rules
you.
and
Because
and
monkeys, those monkeys are pickpockets.
They
So-
told us we couldn't wear dark glasses. If
Okay.
they see the reflection,
It's not the only thing they pick.
they could, because they're real playful and they'll take stuff. And I even asked them, because if a monkey was to lift my hair, I have hearing aids on.
Oh yeah.
And I said, can
Yeah,
I
they'll
go
take 'em.
in with these? And he's like, take
nope,
this off.
take them out. But yeah, so
they'll take stuff.
So we get to the park there, and we have about a 30-minute bus ride, which is neat to see the size, to see the town and see everything. But yes, it looks pretty. It's some of it looks a little shady, and traffic is, stop signs are suggestions. They're not. They're not. Enforced, and people drive like crazy, and then you're in a bus,
like scooters
and people,
it's pronounced stop.
It's different than it is here that way. But we get to the park, and so we get there, and first they put us up with the sloths there, and so you get a chance to hold the sloth, and that's where you saw the pictures of us holding the sloths in the videos. That's where we did all that. The sloths were very cool, very docile. I even got to nuzzle with the one a little bit, and he kind of nuzzled back to me. I'm not going to lie, when I was done holding it, I had this sheen of sticky on my hands for a long time that I don't know what that is, if that's just the natural oils that are on that. Because it's not prickly, like it's not smooth, it's not soft.
Like sap
but
or
it's not
something?
like a porcupine either.
It's coarse hair.
It's coarse,
hair,
but it's not like porcupine prickly either.
Yeah.
His head is much softer than the rest of him.
Now let me venture
because I kind of did that. He kind of nuzzled on my head.
Let me venture a guess here, because you guys were, pretty close in proximity. He was. I pointed out.
Well, they were placed on us. Like we had to do this, and then the attendants would place.
Gotcha.
And put him so your arms he would naturally just kind of drench over like he's hugging you.
I call
you
it
had to hold him like this.
I call it a hunter hug because that's how my son hugged.
We weren't allowed to pet them
hang on you like a
or
backpack.
anything like that. They said just hold him, let the animal do
They
what
told
the
us
animal
just
wants
to
to do.
stand there like a tree.
Yeah, and
really?
that's what we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so but mine, the sloth at the time, he kind of looked at me, and then he kind of went, and I kind of did this, and he kind of leaned in and
nice.
Did that
They had a moment.
Yeah.
and of course he was hamming for the camera a little bit.
I gotta ask, what was the smell like?
Wasn't bad.
No,
really?
I
Okay.
didn't.
No, I didn't. We were outdoors. It didn't stink like a farm or nothing like that. So we got that, and then from there we go into the monkey cages, the monkey rooms, and so they're little. I don't remember the breed of monkey. They're monkeys.
I don't know.
They're little monkeys.
Are they like the monkey from Friends, like Ross?
Yeah, they're about that size,
Kinda
kind
like
of like the monkey from Friends. Very,
So like a
similar
macaque.
in size and in nature.
Gotcha.
And so what they did was, like I said, we went into the thing, and so we went in it as our group, which was about
A lot of people in that cage.
10, 12 people that were in our little group. And so maybe a little more than that. It was a bus. And so we all go in there together. But like Kim said, we had to remove hats, glasses, your wallets, nothing in your pockets, nothing on you that's loose. So that's why I didn't have my glasses on. Like there was pictures. Why aren't your glasses on? Because I couldn't.
That would. Because I'm Mr. Magoo without my glasses.
Yeah.
So.
And so I could wear them when I wasn't in the cages, but like once I got, they had little cubbies we had to put all that stuff in. So I go in there, and then we kind of just line up along the walls there, and then they kind of let the monkeys just do monkey
just
things.
Exist.
Now the guy's in there with you, and so to get them to do stuff, he's like feeding them Skittles.
Okay.
And so they run into him grabbing Skittles, and so they just randomly just run around in your head. Sometimes they stop, and like one monkey got his Skittle, and then this one particular monkey kept dipping his Skittles in his water dish. And so he'd go up, and sometimes he'd dunk it, and then eat it. Sometimes he'd just throw it in there and go away and come back and get it.
That sounds like something he picked up from a human.
Yeah.
Like he was watching a commercial with an Oreo or something.
So
basically what they did, they just jumped from head to head.
Yeah, so they're jumping around. So this particular one, he got his Skittle, and then he literally stabbed my head and sat there and I think ate the Skittle and then ran off to someone else's head. But I had a couple, and all of us at one point or another had a monkey climbing on you doing something.
Yeah.
So we hung out in that for a little bit. And so from there, they take us over to the macaw.
Okay.
Which big parrots, basically looking birds. And we go in there. And so we go in there, and there's, I don't know, 3 maybe in the particular cage area we're in. And apparently 2 of them are siblings. And so we get in there, and they're kind of...
Siblings will fight.
They're fighting with each other. They're not happy with each other.
If they're fight, they're siblings.
And so the guy's trying to get one to come down. I think they'd had one come in, but then they start fighting and arguing. And then all of a sudden, one of them gets mad at the other one and flies one direction. The other flies the other. And next thing I know, I got a bird. right here. And he came flying, and I went like this. And at the last minute, he, boom, hit my hand and popped and landed on my shoulder. And he's wow, boom. And then, of course, everyone's like, everyone's
it startled Mike,
Well,
it
caught me off guard.
I don't care how big a man you are. You got a macaw flying at your face. That's going to startle anybody.
Yeah, it startled Mike.
Whacked me in the head and then once I realized he's on my shoulder, hey, buddy, how you doing? And then he was already mad. And then he took off and went up there. And then he was done with it.
I don't want to talk about it.
And so pretty much that was ruined after that because the birds didn't want nothing to do with us. So we were kind of done after
and everybody was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And Mike's all like, I think I peed my pants a little bit.
I just looked and said, I think I peed a little. And then everyone laughed and everyone was fine. But for that first minute, I saw the look on the guy's face.
He was concerned.
And he looked at me like, I'm about to get fired. That was that look on his face.
This is going to come back to bite me.
And the moment I'd said, I think I peed a little, that guy laughed harder than any person I was like, it wasn't that funny, dude. But he was laughing like I just killed in the
that
chuckle
was the most
hut.
relief he's felt in years. He's like, oh, thank God they're not going to sue.
So shortly there, and then of course we kind of walked around, saw more things, and then we
left.
And we left, but it was really fun.
Had another 30-minute ride back.
Yeah,
to the
it was
ship.
a cool experience.
You had a little factoid about sloths, didn't you?
Well,
their claws or something.
Okay, well that's the thing is I don't know how much I can trust anything that's that soft and cuddly, but yet has Wolverine hands. That's terrifying.
Let's use them for climbing.
Well, okay, but the other thing, and this is something I heard about
if they
sloths.
swing one at you, you only have a month and a half to think about what you're going to do next to avoid it. So
well, I've seen video of sloths actually like attacking, and they're slow until they're not.
Yeah.
Really? They have the ability to get a little faster?
They can jump.
They can be slow because they don't.
Well, I was wondering about that because on the way back, I asked Mike, I was all like, I
don't think they're...
How would sloths mate?
Yeah. Slowly, apparently, is what I'm going to guess. Just slowly.
I mean, there's an image for everyone. Imagine.
Build your own visuals, everybody.
But it was pretty cool. So okay. Well, let's check to the other. You know what? Let me do this. Let me pause for a commercial break and news, and then we'll do our dolphin.
We'll head to our next
port. Yeah, the dolphin thing.
So let's do.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Quick news. Quick break for weather, commercials for lunch, and a news update. And we'll be back, and we'll talk about the other stuff. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters, and of course, obviously, we get updates on the situation in Ruidoso with the fires and everything there, and Alto and all that. We will get those details to you. Weather is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control. Bob Reed Pest Control. Protect your home from pests that invade. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. 575-623-5344.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today, right around 105 for the afternoon high. It will be a little bit breezy, and we get lots of sunshine. Clear for the overnight hours, upper 60s and low 70s, and then sunny and mid-90s for the afternoon high on Wednesday. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower, and then a lot cooler on Thursday. Cold front moving through, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agar told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Pull!
Shooters, mark your calendars for the H.F. Sinclair 3rd Annual Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range, benefiting the Artesia FFA. Main event is Saturday. Registration at 7 a.m. 1 in 4 participants win prizes, gun boards, raffles, and lunch included. There's an option Friday night light shoot with $40 individual rounds. Details and registration info at artesiachamber.com. Deadline is July 1st. The 3rd Annual H.F. Sinclair Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range.
Calling all men. June is Men's Health Month, and Artesia General Hospital wants you to step up and take care of your health. Every year, thousands of men in the U.S. die from preventable diseases. Take control of your health today and schedule a visit before something is wrong. Artesia General Hospital has specialists in a variety of men's health disciplines, but your primary care provider is the best place to start. Take your health seriously for yourself and for your loved ones. Visit artesiageneral.com/men's health or call 575-746-3119.
When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says
yes.
The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say
yes.
No social security number or ITIN number?
Yes.
No driver's license?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says
yes.
If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say
yes.
Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say
yes
to you.
Yes.
Get zero down,
yes.
zero payments till fall,
yes.
plus up to $4,000 more for your trade.
Yes.
On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Yes!
Now for a Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Sorello. It feels like deja vu all over again. A new wildfire is prompting evacuations near Ruidoso, dubbed the South Fork Fire. Anyone in the following areas are told to evacuate immediately if you haven't already. The village of Ruidoso, Upper Canyon, Brady Canyon, Ponderosa Heights, Flume Canyon, all of Alpine Village on either side of Musket Ball, and Apache Summit. The only route to evacuate is using Highway 70 and to Roswell. Meanwhile, the Inn of the Mountain Gods Convention Center in Mescalero is available for anyone evacuating, both tribal and non-tribal. Livestock can be evacuated to Mescalero Rodeo Grounds. The city of Roswell has set up shelters at NMU Roswell's Gymnasium, the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds for livestock, the Church on the Move Dream Center, and the Church on the Move building, and the Encanto Event Center. Eddy County is also providing a free place for evacuees' horses. You do need to call, however, 575-499-3260. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 39 minutes.
You can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion.
We're getting updates.
Unless you open your eyes.
You know,
here's Mike Winters.
I just was looking the last 5 minutes and nothing new that I haven't really already shared. Just talking about places that are accepting some donations at this time, things like that. Just keep tabs on social media, especially with family and friends. On some of those updates, that's some of the reports and things. What we're getting right now is really through eyewitness accounts and things like that. So as we get more updates from official sources, we will definitely share that stuff along with you. So we were kind of still talking about the cruises and all that, so kind of filling in between here. So on our third port. Oh, he's Sean's on his way here. So, but on our third port, we did the first port was there in Rotan, Honduras. Day 2 is where we did mostly our shopping and stuff. That was there in the Casa. Hold on. Let me turn on all the mics.
I just want to know, what's Honduras like? I haven't seen any pictures of it.
Like I said, it was nice. It's tropical. I mean, there's beaches and palm trees and
it's like
and like a tropical island. But the buildings and structures are old. Like they had like Rotan. Some of the government buildings look nice, like the Rotan City Hall.
Yeah,
looked relatively modern. They have an airport there on Rotan, and I know it can handle Learjets because I saw someone's fancy Learjet flying in and out of Rotan. But It's
Do they have any like Mayan temples?
Not
That was
yes,
in
it's more
Puerto
inland.
Costa Maya.
And more inland in Central America and into Mexico, you see more of the Aztec and Mayan. Rotan itself, no. But if we went, but our other stops in Mexico,
in
there
Mexico.
were excursions to Aztec and Mayan ruins and things. Kim and I have done some in the past. We didn't on this particular trip. We did when we were in Yucatan years ago. We went to some Aztec stuff. So yes, that stuff is there. And you do see, and it is, and even in Honduras and Central America, there's some of that stuff. But in Rotan, that island, no, it's just a tourist community for the cruise ships. Mostly.
Okay, and everyone speaks like Spanish there, right? Like mainly Spanish.
Spanish is the main language. Yes,
like
English
Mexican
is
Spanish. Like
I'm sure it's Honduran Spanish, and it's probably similar in some dialects of Mexican Spanish, but. Like Mexico, you know, there's like 30 different forms of Mexican Spanish in Mexico. I'm sure their dialect's slightly different than the dialect they speak in other parts.
But it's not
of
like
Mexico.
Portuguese or anything.
Well, and there is some French there, so there's some French spoke, a little Portuguese, a little bit of everything, but Spanish is the predominant. Most people, because there's so many tourists and Americans, speak English pretty fluently, and you can navigate English relatively easily.
I would think that English would be like the going language there, just because that's where the money is.
Yeah, and yes, and they know that because this is their living. This is how people like. For instance, the young lady that was our guide was like
17 years old.
and she's been independent. She was
acted
15.
like very mature.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And she's all like, "I'm going to be your tour guide." Babysitter for this trip.
She was funny.
So we're like a 17-year-old is babysitting. So my job is to keep you safe. And she was very good.
She did her job. She did what she did.
Very grown up for 17.
Very nice. And very.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
of course, you got to imagine over there. You know, you have to mature pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You gotta
she's
figure
living
it out
on her own.
Wow.
She's done with school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
she's completely her own person.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Okay, so
and she's like a 17-year-old. She was when she was in between, doing her job. She's just buried in her phone looking at Facebook. Of course.
on the bus ride.
And it's just like you or I or anybody else. She's liking her friends' pics and doing all the things everybody else does.
Mike just showed his age by
They
saying
gave
that
us this.
young people are on
She
Facebook.
started passing this out.
Well, in Honduras.
She gave us this as a memento.
Oh yeah, some money.
That's wow. That's
Honduran money.
You know who that looks like? Like
it's pretty money.
If you take off the mutton chops and the curlicue mustache, doesn't that kind of look like Pedro Pascal?
Kind of does.
Yeah, he's Mandalorian.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
That's awesome. So this is what's the currency?
It's Honduran something.
I don't know what they call
Limpias?
We'll go with that.
Limpias. That's a $2 bill. So is this still like active currency, or is that just?
Yeah.
Well, the way she was handing it out, I don't think you get much for it.
I was surprised. She handed it to me first without any explanation, and I'm like looking at her like.
You put it in your pocket. She says, no, that's to pass around. We're showing it to everybody.
I was like, "You want me to dance for you? What do you want?"
What service do you expect for this currency?
Did she hand it to you, or did she?
No, she handed it to me.
She did like the handshake move.
That's fun.
But that was cool. And so our other excursion day was in Cozumel.
Now, okay, so we've left Rotan. We're back on the boat.
Yeah, and then the next day we go
traveled
into
Puerto Costa Maya.
Yes.
Right.
And there we didn't have any excursions planned. We just we did our shopping. That's where I found your mask and a couple other things, and we did some of that.
How were now I got to imagine each of these ports you're encountering a different culture of people, so to speak, a different type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So how was it compared to Rotan? Was it about the same?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. They're both the culture, as far as and now granted, when you're in port like that, it's a fountain of people barking at you it's carnival bark.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of that.
If you've ever crossed the border of Mexico, it's like that. It's a bunch of people trying to sell you like flowers,
and so
oranges.
and this is you have to go through the gauntlet to get to any. So you go through that gauntlet, and they're trying to sell you liquor, cigars, whatever, anything that people want, they offer.
This was at Puerto Costa Maya.
Okay. Oh wow. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Now, did you have to pay the photographers?
They wanted a tip.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
The guys did that. I took the picture.
And please tell me you tipped them.
I did.
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
Because in Vegas, if a call girl comes up and like just takes a picture with you, immediately you have to pay them, or else they'll set their guy on you.
Yeah.
That's I watched that happen a couple of times.
Yeah, he informed me where to put the money. I did that. And so,
yeah, when you got guys that are that big, looking like that,
they were tree trunks, those guys, and then yeah. So, but that was very nice. And so then our third city or port was Cozumel, and for there is where we had our scheduled our ride swim with the dolphin experience and all.
I was so excited.
We talked about it on the radio.
This is my bucket list.
Yeah.
We got a.
I was gonna say we had the refuge in, and I thought it was funny because we were talking about how you guys were gonna go swim with dolphins.
Yeah.
And then I was with the Roswell Refuge ladies talking about how amorous dolphins tend to be, and how they might have a penchant for humping. We had a conversation with the Roswell Refuge. It was a very awkward transition.
Yeah.
So we got up that morning and it's raining. It's pouring down rain. Well, I get my bathing suit on. I get these clothes on over my bathing suit because I'm going to just take the outer clothes off when we get there to go swimming.
We're ready to go on our excursion.
Yeah. So we get down to the lower deck to get off. And we do the sail thing, and there's 2 ramps. And we start going down the ramp. The next thing you know, I'm flat on the ground and I'm screaming.
Oh my God.
I literally was screaming.
Her sneakers hit the wet part. And
in fairness, any injuries that could happen towards your head area, given the last couple of years.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was frightening, yes. It was a frightening moment. I was about 4 feet behind her, and I couldn't quite get there close enough to catch her, which I don't know if I would have done any good anyway. She went down quick and hard. And so
I had a leg underneath me.
I was worried
so you landed on your leg.
Yeah, I thought you broke
this
ankle.
leg that I scraped up.
I thought it was a broken ankle or sprain or something.
So what happened?
So what? Basically, she was going down the gangway and it was wet and her foot slipped and she.
Oh, she pulled a.
And
Stooges.
Fortunately, she scraped up pretty good, but nothing was broken. So some bumps and bruises, but no breaks or sprains. Obviously, the people came immediately, and there was a sea of people around us to help us when that happened.
Sure.
However, she had to get medical treatment because she started bleeding pretty good. So we went back into the ship to medical hold to get her patched up. And by the time we got back out, we had missed our chance to get on we missed the time for
and I noticed after everybody got me up, I was all like, no, I'm going to go ahead and go.
Yeah, we tried.
But then the blood started running.
Yeah. And so by the time we got out, we missed it.
And I imagine that would be an issue if you had like an open wound out in that water.
Yeah. And I noticed the other ramp, they put a mat out
there was 2 ramps on this
for
side.
not slipping.
Oh, when we went out the second time?
Didn't have one.
It did have one at that time.
My ramp didn't have one.
And
this is ship's.
You're walking on.
And security had it all on footage, like there were body cams and everything.
Says I have it all on footage.
It was all there. But anyway, so we missed the trip there.
Sure.
However, we went, and then later that night we went and Kim talked, and we got after a little bit of negotiation, got our money reimbursed.
I went to the excursion place
because
and I told her what had happened, and I wanted to get reimbursed. She goes, well, do you still have your tickets? I said, yeah, they're up in the cabin. So I went and got them. And then when I got down, I handed her both Mike and I's ticket. She handed back Mike's ticket. And I said, don't you need both? She goes, no. She goes, I'm just going to reimburse your ticket.
So he still would have had to pay for his excursion.
And I said, no, ma'am. I said, he was taking care of me.
Right.
And he missed his excursion as well. Without any fight and stuff, she goes, it's taken care of.
Okay.
So we did get both of them refunded.
If you don't mind my asking, how much was the excursion?
It cost about $170 per person.
Okay.
So it was close to $400. After all said and done.
Yeah, that's not insignificant.
However, so we did get that back. And they did check because this was kind of their fault. like they forgot to
Kind
put the
of.
thing
Oh, it's like
down.
we could have had a good
That's an
suit.
OSHA violation.
So-
We could have had a good lawsuit on our
So
hands.
they called, obviously, you okay? Da, da, da. They're worried about lawsuits. And I think that's why they didn't push back too much on getting the
The
thing.
excursion was $170 per person.
There you go. So they didn't push too back when Kim said, wait a minute, why are you not reimbursing both?
Mhm.
They
And that was all I wanted.
Well,
Like, what was he going to do? Sorry, honey, I got to go.
right, exactly. I'll see you when I get back.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You're going to need that 170 to cover the divorce.
Yeah. Right. Maybe that lawyer, which would cover about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
But anyway,
pretty
so we get that, and we got our reimbursement and everything. But throughout our course of our trip, because you don't pay cash per se on the ship, it's all done. You attach a credit card or you put cash on your CPAS account. And that's how you navigate. So to pay for if you can buy things in the shops or make reservations
Incidentals,
for the dinner
as they say.
thing. So, and over the course of the week, we had a couple hundred occurred in there. A little bit of gambling, a little bit of shirt shopping, a little bit of drinks here and there. Just buying things.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but I think at the end of the day, about $230 was after.
Yeah, and that was after
some
our
credits and
excursion
some
got
other-
reimbursed.
and all
that
that.
was a credit towards our balance. And
Well-
so our balance we still owed was $226.
Well, they cleared that too.
We got our statement.
So they cleared off everything.
Yeah.
We got
so
our
we didn't-
statement,
I didn't
and
have to pay
then
for
our
any.
balance zero.
Don't you kind of wish you had a time machine at that point? Because I'd be going back and be like, oh, you can drink.
Had I known that,
On the house, everybody.
I was
Pack up.
telling Mike, like, oh, I
had we
wish I'd
known that, make reservations. We're going to the steakhouse. Is that Dom Perignon? Yeah, buddy.
We're going to get Carrot Top in our room.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's why they didn't tell us for that very reason. But
We
they
didn't
ended
know
up
they were gonna do
comping
that.
basically all of our excursion
Expenses.
money that we. So really, the only thing we paid for at the end of the day was our first excursion. Whatever we bought off ship on cash, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was it. The rest of it was comped back to us, and obviously our cost for our cruise. We didn't get a free cruise.
Yeah.
But as far as the incidentals, all of that stuff was taken care of.
That's awesome.
Because they did mess up.
So
They did mess up.
So we've wrapped up now at our last port of call. We're back on the boat, and now it's basically just nonstop back to
Exactly.
Yeah. And then there's activities going on. Like you want to go see the little shows
Sure.
or little things.
But by this point, you guys have to be just
we're tired.
Yeah, chewed up. I mean,
We're ready to
the
get
injury
off.
notwithstanding. I mean, everywhere you've gone, you've walked all
Yeah.
week. You've already done all the things. You've had all the experiences. I got to imagine that last day and a half to 2 days is just everybody is just mad.
You're a little
at
ready to get
everybody.
off the ship, but at the same time, I mean, it's still nice because it's like we're having, creme brulee, and
Still
you know what I
enjoying,
mean?
You're still enjoying what you can
Yeah,
while you're on the cruise.
It's like, all right, I'm not, beck and call drinks and things and all that. So it's not too bad. You know what? I got a quick break we got to play before we wrap up the show. Let me do this. Wall Street Business Update, quick break, and then we'll wrap up the show. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Consumers cut back on retail purchases in April and May.
Retail sales rose a meager 0.1% in May, and April sales were revised downward from unchanged to a 0.2% decline, according to the latest report from the Commerce Department. Sales of clothing and accessories were up slightly, and May spending rose 0.3% if you exclude gas. Although gas prices are falling, sales at gas stations, which include convenience items, were down 2.2%. Building and garden supplies were down 0.8%, and restaurant spending fell 0.3%. The government reports the job market is still strong and price increases have slowed, but anxiety over cumulative inflation has driven down consumer sentiment for the last 3 months. Jennifer King, Washington.
A majority of those responding to a new poll say they favor forgiving all or some of an individual's medical debt, providing the person is facing hardships. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
Can't hear as well as you used to? That can happen to the best of us. But when you can't hear people speaking or birds chirping, it's time to take action. That's when it's time to call Howard Allman with Here on Earth Hearing Care Center. Howard has been helping people hear better for over 55 years. Howard is who helps the Artesia seniors with servicing their hearing aids of all makes with free cleaning and hearing evaluations, and he's ready to help you. Howard can share with you information on Audibel Intrigue AI hearing aids with many features you might not expect a hearing aid can do, such as using your hearing aids to stream calls, music, and more. Plus, health monitoring, count steps, even fall detection, all built in. Meet face-to-face with someone who can help you choose the right hearing aid for you. Call Howard at 575-622-0375, and he'll be glad to set up a time to meet with you. That's 575-622-0375 for Howard Allman of Here on Earth Hearing Care Center.
At River Flooring, Roswell's premier quality flooring destination, commitment to excellence is key. Serving all of southeastern New Mexico, River Flooring offers a vast selection of flooring options at the lowest prices in town, ensuring you the best value with their price match guarantee. At River Flooring, you get free in-home estimates, convenient next-day appointments, financing options, and excellent service you don't find at big box stores. From hardwood and tile to luxury vinyl and carpet, River Flooring wants to earn your business, residential or commercial. To learn more about River Flooring and the many services offered, visit their website at riverflooring.com or stop by 205 North Virginia in Roswell and meet the River Flooring family and staff today. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:57. We're about ready to wrap up our show here. But, it was overall, we had a great time on the cruise, and we had a lot of fun. Ate so much. And it's all a lot of cool stuff.
I was going to make the joke earlier. I was like, it seems like you guys went on vacation to undo all the good work that Ozempic has done.
That's how I felt. Yeah, I got to get back on track.
Because Mike's like, I'm down to my middle school weight. And he comes back, he's I just had to do a wah, 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 wah.
In all fairness, I don't think I gained really much because there's so much sweating and walking and everything else. And to be honest, the copious amounts of food is all like fresh made food. It's not like processed, fast food. It's this guy's cooking steaks and cooking
you're having like lobster thermidor and stuff like that. So
everything I'm eating is like, oh. And what the thing that was cool about the buffet with because it's international,
right? So there's bound to be all kinds of stuff.
So you go for breakfast, and it's not all American breakfast,
right?
Stuff. I had British breakfast almost every day. There was beans like at every, and I got beans at every meal because I'm like, when in Rome, I'm
got your full English.
Rome, but I was. And then there was stuff like that was more like Middle Eastern in there. And there was some good, like I had these bean things that were amazing. And I don't know what they were called, but they were made out of some kind of lentil something or another.
I was actually going to ask, because you said before you were going to try to find the thing you don't eat here.
Oh, yeah.
So what was your thing that you didn't?
Oh, quite a few, like there was a couple I've had before that I didn't, like escargot. I've been there, done that. So I didn't do that this time. But, and sometimes it was just like I had a braised lamb. I've had lamb before, but it was really good, So usually the dinner nights, I'd pick the thing that was kind of, not
unique.
safe.
Right.
Or not, here's a New York strip. Wonderful. Give me the thing that's...
this is going to be good, but let me try some of that.
This has got a couple ingredients I don't know how to pronounce. Throw that on there, And so I always tried to do that. And I was disappointed never. Every time I got something, it was good.
It's also risky when you're on a cruise ship because you're like, well, the intestinal distress could lock me in a room for 48 hours. So, it's a real crapshoot, pardon the pun.
Like what happened to my parents.
Based on the copious amounts of food they give you, I'm sure their plumbing is the toughest in the world.
We keep the Tidy Bowl man on staff.
And because of your lack of room entertainment as far as TV, like literally you have about a dozen channels, but only like 3 of them show programming that's not ship related, And so, we got to go.
We got to wrap
time. So we'll have to do this. We got to go. I'll talk more as the week progresses. Sure. Have an amazing day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Be safe out there.
We'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Stay safe, everybody. Updates in as we get there.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Tens of millions in the U.S. remain under dangerous heat warnings. Julie Walker reports.
Record-breaking heat is here for tens of millions of people in the Midwest and Northeast through at least Saturday, with heat alerts from Iowa to Maine, says National Weather Service meteorologist Brian Hurley.
Low to mid-90s, mid-Atlantic to Northeast. some spotty upper 90s to near 100. As we get into next, especially by Saturday here in the Philly, D.C., Baltimore.
And meteorologist Andrew Orison says Texas could be affected by a potential tropical cyclone. I'm Julie Walker.
Also at townhall.com, consumers barely increased spending in May from April. Retail sales rose 0.1% in May, below the pace that economists projected. That's according to the Commerce Department. Former President Trump weighed in on two tight GOP House primaries in Alaska and Utah on Monday, making endorsements as primary season now getting into full swing. More from Bernie Bennett.
In Alaska, Mr. Trump backed Lieutenant Governor Nancy Dahlstrom over Nick Begich III. The contested primaries carried echoes of the 2022 race between Begich and former Governor Sarah Palin, which led to Democrat Nancy Peltola being elected in the general election upset when both Begich and Palin ran in the general election. In Utah, Trump's endorsement of Representative Celeste Malloy put him at odds with Senator Mike Lee, who has backed Malloy's challenger, Colby Jenkins. While the seat is safe for Republicans, the primary fight could mark underlying conflict in the Utah GOP. The House is generally considered to be up for grabs this November, according to political analysts. The Hill/Decision Desk HQ forecast predicts that Republicans have a 61% chance of keeping the lower chamber. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Stocks are mixed. The Dow ahead 14 points, but the NASDAQ is down 4.